had one, and then they were done. These are the 100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s.
En la era de los excesos hicieron historia con una sola canción.
Science!
Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
Damn, that's taking me back.
VH1 preguntó, ustedes votaron y ahora veremos la cuenta regresiva de las mejores sensaciones singulares de la década.
It's like the Citizen Kane of 80s pop music.
Wow, that was something special.
Prepárense para conocer a los responsables de los éxitos de los 80.
This song was awesome.
Y averigüen qué pasó con los fabulosos artistas que nos dejaron con ganas de más.
We are still recognized, especially in the Northwest.
Vean quienes aún buscan su segundo éxito.
I don't lose sleep about getting another hit record, but hey, never say never.
Y quienes están orgullosos de haber tenido un solo éxito.
I'm Sugar Bear from EU, and I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder.
Admítanlo, sin ellos los 80 hubieran sido muy aburridos. Ahora por fin se les reconocerá su mérito.
I'd rather be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit wonder.
Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Su anfitrión, Judah Freelander.
One Hit Wonders totally rule, dude. Yeah!
Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
Hi, I'm Judah Friedlander, and this is VH1's 100 Greatest One-Hit Wonders of the 80s. Some might say it's bad to be called a one-hit wonder, but I say there's no higher honor. These artists managed to jam a career's worth of awesomeness into one amazing song. You try that, you'll probably explode. Your votes are in, so let's get started with big number 100.
Número 100, Clarence Clemons y Jackson Browne, You're a Friend of Mine. Clarence Clemons fue varios años el saxofonista de la E Street Band, pero en 1985 él y Jackson Browne le demostraron a Bruce quién era el jefe con su éxito You're a Friend of Mine.
So he came out with his own solo hit and it surprised everybody because nobody expected Clarence Clemons to come out with a hit song. He surprised us all.
The music video is very disturbing because they are standing nose to nose, sort of dancing and singing.
There's a real homoerotic feel to it.
You expect them to start making out at any moment during the song.
Then all of a sudden they cut to Daryl Hannah's in the video because she was dating Jackson at the time.
She's lounging on the couch. He's painting a picture.
And Daryl Hannah picks up the hugest camcorder in the world because it's the 80s, and she kind of films them, and it was adorable.
Not everybody knows, but Daryl Hannah is singing backup. You get Daryl Hannah on your song, it's pretty impressive. At least in the 80s it was. She's probably available now.
Aunque ya no volvió a tener un éxito propio, Clarence, de 60 años, sigue tocando con Temple of Soul, una banda que creó con otros veteranos de la música. Y sigue tocando con la E Street Band desde hace más de 35 años.
I don't know if Clarence and Jackson are still friends, but they definitely shared a moment together in that living room.
Two guys that sing that closely into each other's mouths with loving looks in their eyes should have a bond forever.
Número 99, Michael Damian, Rock On.
I'm sorry, I can't marry you.
El galán de las telenovelas, Michael Damian, no solo parecía una estrella de rock en The Young and the Restless, también lo era en la vida real. En 1989 su cover de Rock On de David Essex llegó a la cima.
Hey kids, rock and roll, rock on.
Michael Damian sang a remake of Rock On, and I loved it.
Hey, shout!
The ladies were very big fans.
Where were we, Mrs. Romalotti?
Ooh, Danny Romalotti, oh. You know, it was only natural that he would get out there and have a big hit.
It's a little bit of a rebellious song. Well, it's got the Jimmy Dean, James Dean line, which is very cool.
James Dean. Rock on!
So Rock On, it was in the Dream a Little Dream soundtrack. So that's what made it so huge, because everyone's into the choreos, everyone sees the movie, and then you've got this song right at the heart of it, Rock On. And when you're walking out of theaters, you're like, yeah, Rock On.
Michael siguió actuando en televisión y en teatro después de Rock On, pero también siguió haciendo canciones. Ninguna volvió a ser famosa. Después de 18 años en The Young and the Restless, Damien abandonó el elenco en 1998. Poco después se casó y comenzó a hacer cine independiente, escribiendo y dirigiendo películas como Hot Tamale de 2006 y Moondance Alexander en 2007. Hoy, entre sus películas y su matrimonio, el cantante de Rock On tiene mucho futuro.
I love Michael Damian because he's the hottest man in the world. Rock on, dude!
Número 98. Wagner y García, Pac-Man Fever. Al igual que los fantasmas del Pac-Man, el dúo de compositores de Atlanta, Jerry Wagner y Gary García, también perseguían a un sujeto amarillo con su éxito de 1982, Pac-Man Fever.
They're incredible, these guys. I got a pocket full of quarters and I'm headed to the arcade. Lyrics don't get better than that. This is the best.
I remember everybody wanting to play the game. It was just huge.
We sat down, started playing, and pretty soon we were hooked. We always said we had to do this song in order to make up the money that we were spending in the machine.
Pac-Man Fever was such a big hit because it was a good pop song.
Hey, I was always great, but when I got this Pac-Man Fever album, I became inspired.
Pac-Man Fever was such a big hit that the band actually got commissioned to write a whole album about video games.
Frogger, do the Donkey Kong, I'm the Defender. These guys are amazing and had the best video game songs of all time.
Cuando otros fracasaron, Wagner y García compusieron para otros artistas y los produjeron. También escribieron jingles publicitarios. Uno de sus clientes más importantes es Waffle House.
Waffle House. There you go. They wanted to do some songs about Waffle House, and we filled up the jukeboxes with it. Waffle House family.
Hash brown potatoes, I love you. Saturday night at my place. There's raisins in my toast.
The raisin song seems to be one of the favorites. It's kind of silly, but people like them. It's everyone except the people that work there, apparently. They don't care much for them.
Con su sentido del humor intacto, el dúo ahora acepta mejor que se los llame One Hit Wonders.
I have to be honest, it was irritating at first to hear it simply because it seemed to suggest you couldn't have any more because you're an idiot or whatever. But I understand, too, that it's not meant to be, harmful, and it's got us here. We're doing interviews today, and anyone that can do it, congratulations to them.
Número 97, Will to Power, Baby I Love Your Way, Freebird Medley. Un poco de Peter Frampton, un toque de Lynyrd Skynyrd y otro poco de cursilería de los 80. ¿Y qué conseguirán? Un número 1, Baby I Love Your Way, Freebird Medley de Will to Power de Miami.
I loved their version of the song. I loved her voice.
You got a hot chick with a bustier, and then you got a biker guy, like this gnarly biker guy, and somehow they stumbled upon this sort of formula to make it work.
If you're desperate for a hit song, there's no better way to get it than with a cover of a well-known song. They did like 2 well-known songs. Like, it couldn't go wrong.
A pesar de la loca popularidad de la canción, generó muchas críticas entre los puristas del rock.
I think it's much better as one song. That's the way it belongs, the way it should have been made in the first place.
It's horrible. I'm really pissed off that they made it.
I really hate it.
I thought for sure that the combination was cracking the last seal on the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I was convinced that they were saddling up the horses and on the way.
Will to Power lanzó un nuevo álbum antes de separarse en 1996. Susie Carr trabajó como cantante y compositora de música dance, pero el productor Bob Rosenberg volvió con la canción en 2004 con una nueva cantante. Su popurrí sigue escuchándose en la radio hasta el día de hoy.
When things that shouldn't be are, and they all work together perfectly, that is Will to Power. You look back and go, wow, that was something special.
They came, they saw, they rocked, they left. More 80s one-hit wonders after the break.
A continuación, The Fabulous Thunderbirds arman un gran jaleo.
We came from a blues background, so it was against the rules for a band like us to have a top 10 hit.
Y la canción que mejor te hace sentir.
Damn, that's taking me back.
Enseguida en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
We're up to 96 in the countdown, and we want to recognize some of the supporting players in the next video. They are among the unsung heroes of One Hit Wonderland.
Héroes no reconocidos de One Hit Wonderlandia.
This hour, we pay tribute to the lady construction workers from the fabulous Thunderbirds Tough Enough video. They welded, they laid pipe, they did some very naughty things to scaffolding, and they did it all in hot pants. Yeah, here they are with the fabulous T-Birds.
Número 96, The Fabulous Thunderbirds Tough Enough. The Fabulous Thunderbirds eran de Austin, Texas. Tardaron 12 años antes de llegar a las listas de los más escuchados en 1986 con Tough Enough.
Great band, man. Great blues, rock and roll, rockabilly band.
Tough Enough hits that ultra masculine core of just pure muscle, adrenaline.
Ain't that tough enough, baby?
We still got live music coming up this hour.
So if you're tough enough, just hang in there.
Tough Enough fue la única canción de la banda en estar entre las 10 más escuchadas y les abrió algunas puertas.
What it enabled us to do was open for people like the Rolling Stones, open for Tom Petty, open for Eric Clapton and people like that. It just kind of went where it went. We came from a blues background, so it was kind of against the rules for a band like us to have a top 10 hit.
En 1990, Jimmy Vaughan se fue para tocar con su hermano, Stevie Ray, que murió a fines de ese año. Tras la partida de Jimmy, Kim Wilson debió encargarse de la banda. Además de su carrera solista, Kim sigue de gira con los Thunderbirds, que siguen siendo rudos después de 35 años.
Now I have all these great young people playing with me that are just awesome. We just finished a new CD and a lot of touring, a lot of festivals. It's a great life.
Número 95, Midnight Oil, Beds Are Burning. La banda australiana Midnight Oil era liderada por el gigantesco Pete Garrett. Alcanzaron el éxito mundial con Beds Are Burning, una canción política de 1987.
Oh my God, I love Midnight Oil. They were so powerful.
I love this song because I love the lead singer's voice.
His voice is a little jarring, but by the end you're like, that's the only way to sing.
Midnight Oil, very political band. I didn't really get that. I just said, hey, look at the big bald dude scream.
We're an issues fan, and we write about politics, the politics that affects us, that's part of our lives.
Growing up in Australia, the fact that white settlers had come and taken the Aboriginal land was just a truth that was part of our day-to-day reality. And Midnight Oil were the first band to really address that in music, and it made a huge difference.
Fue el único éxito de Midnight Oil en los Estados Unidos, pero en Australia siguieron siendo superestrellas.
Well, in Australia, they had so many hits. You know, they were a huge band, and they, you know, until they broke up.
La banda se separó en 2002 y a veces tocan juntos para apoyar alguna buena causa. Desde la separación, Garrett se abocó a su carrera política. En 2006 lo nombraron secretario de Medio Ambiente, Patrimonio Cultural y Arte.
This was a clear signal of the very high priority the government places on climate change.
I think it's impressive that Peter Garrett put his money where his mouth is. And, you know, he talked about political issues in his home country down under. And then he actually got involved in it to do something about it. So he's actually having an effect.
Número 94, Club Nouveau, Lean on Me. Club Nouveau, el cuarteto de Sacramento, halló una mina de oro en Lean on Me, su modernizada versión de 1987 del clásico de Bill Withers.
Damn, that's taking me back. It was a hot song. We all have pain. We all have sorrow. The song makes me feel great. You can kind of be like, yeah, I like life.
Lean on me. We are not strong.
It was like, lean on me when you're not strong, and we'll dance, we'll groove.
Those were some powerful words. You know, you do want somebody that you can lean on if it's just one person.
I think hands down my favorite part of the song, and I think everybody in America would agree, would be when they go, we be jammin', we be jammin'.
We be jammin'.
You can't do the accent right. Please don't be doing the we be jammin'. We be jammin', man. We be. Hey. That was half of America making those mistakes.
Lean on Me fue el único éxito de Club Nouveau. En 1992, solo Valerie Watson y Jay King quedaban de la banda original. Hoy Valerie ayuda a su esposo a administrar su negocio de entrenadores personales y Jay es el presidente de la Asociación Profesional de Dominó. Y si bien pasó mucho tiempo desde el último álbum de Club Nouveau, nunca se separaron.
We haven't broken up. There has always been the entity of Club Nouveau.
Número 93, LA Guns, The Ballad of Jane. Era el Guns de los Guns N' Roses, pero para cuando la banda alcanzó el éxito, Tracy Guns ya había formado los LA Guns, que tuvieron un solo éxito, The Ballad of Jane de 1989.
The hair band is all about you had to have at least one ballad on every record because that's a song that all the radio stations would play, and this is the song that broke them through pretty much.
Jane was about Jane Mansfield, who a lot of people described as kind of being the next Marilyn Monroe.
We were watching Playboy Channel, and they had a special about Jane Mansfield on. She just take her top off and just shake it loose. She was great, man. She's one of us. So we wrote a song about it.
La banda siguió tocando, pero nunca volvió a tener éxito y con el tiempo terminó solo en nostalgia. Hay dos versiones distintas de los LA Guns en gira. Una con el guitarrista Tracy Guns y la otra con el cantante Phil Lewis.
Yeah, now there's two versions of LA Guns, which is weird. It's like, I don't know if they need two versions out there. They could probably just, do one and enough people go see them.
More one-hit wonders are on the way, so stick around.
A continuación, Frank Stallone del lado bueno.
At least I had a hit.
Y el placer culposo de todo rockero.
This is destroying my image right now, but I like Haircut 100.
Enseguida en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
Welcome back to our awesome show. Our next 80s one-hit wonder, Frank Stallone. He's always been in his brother Sly's shadow. You know what? I think I might like Frank better. That's right, Sly. I said it.
Número 92, Frank Stallone, Far From Over. La película de 1983, Staying Alive, no fue un gran éxito, pero la secuela de Saturday Night Fever, dirigida por Sylvester Stallone, hizo que su hermano Frank escalara en el ranking con Far From Over.
Staying Alive is a beautiful movie. They needed someone to write the music for it, someone that would bring out the raw masculinity in John Travolta's passion for dance, and only a Stallone could drive the point home.
Let me tell you, Frank Stallone put it all out on the floor for this song. He leaves nothing out of this performance.
Far From Over llegó al top 10 y fue nominada para un Grammy, pero Frank estaba a la deriva en un mar de superestrellas y nunca volvió a lanzar un éxito.
Well, I don't think anybody likes to be called a one-hit wonder. I'm proud of it for the sense my competition was Billy Joel, Bonnie Tyler, then you had Flashdance, and Thriller. At least had a hit.
Frank siguió haciendo música, actuó en más de 60 películas y en 2008 se subió al cuadrilátero de Hulk Hogan Celebrity Championship Wrestling.
This is what started it all. This is the end.
Frank sobrevivió y hoy está ocupándose de una carrera que está lejos de terminar.
I'm still a hard worker. I still believe something's going to happen for me.
I'm running on.
I've always been a late bloomer, but not this late.
Frank Stallone, acoustic.
Yeah, Frankie.
Número 91. Gloria Loring y Carl Anderson, Friends and Lovers. Gloria Loring era compositora de canciones clásicas para TV, estrella de telenovelas y princesa de Light FM. En 1985 se unió al cantante de jazz Carl Anderson y tuvieron un hermoso éxito, Friends and Lovers.
What would you think if I told?
It's a very sweet song, I have to say. It's very gentle.
It's really a theme song for when you have like buddies.
So I'll be
Friends with Bennies.
and I'll be your lover.
I'll admit it, I was a Days of Our Lives fan, and I did initially hear that song on Days of Our Lives. I don't know why I'm admitting this right now, but I loved it.
La dulce balada fue el único éxito del dúo y Carl luchó por olvidarla.
I'm a jazz singer. Friends and Lovers was a real small T pop song. And a good one. Just wasn't who I was.
I've been through you. You've been through me.
Carl siguió siendo cantante y estrella de Broadway antes de sucumbir a la leucemia a los 58 años en 2004. Luego de Days of Our Lives, Gloria se convirtió en defensora de la vida sana y grabó otro dúo en 2003 con la sensación del rhythm and blues, Robin Thicke, que es el hijo que tuvo con su ex, Alan.
It is the ultimate romantic classic of the 80s. And if you've ever listened to like soft hits of the 80s, that song is the #1 staple in those songs.
We don't have to be one or the other.
Número 90, Haircut 100, La Plus One. La banda de adolescentes británicos Haircut 100 tuvo un éxito en 1982 con La Plus One, con su alegre melodía y su tonta letra.
This is just a legitimately good song. Xylophone and saxophone in one song, and you don't want to blow your brains out after listening to it? That's impressive.
This is destroying my image right now, but I like Haircut 100. But if I'm all with my friends, I'm like, put on some Slayer, and then they're gone. I'm like, ay, 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 ay.
The lines of the melodies, they're so catchy.
There are nonsense lyrics. There's a very sort of charming, cheeky singer called Nick Hayward, who's quite endearing.
Parecían estar listos para el éxito, pero el cantante Nick Hayward abandonó la banda menos de un año después.
I feel a bit bad about jumping my own ship. My early way of dealing with things when I was younger was just run away.
Nick lanzó varios álbumes solistas en las siguientes décadas. Si bien tocan juntos de tanto en tanto, sus admiradores aún esperan un verdadero reencuentro.
Haircut 100 is actually one of those bands that I still love. There's one album, but that one album sounds exactly like the early 80s, and it just makes me really happy.
Número 89, Rodney Dangerfield, Rapping Rodney. Era el cómico frustrado famoso por esa adorable frase.
I don't get no respect at all.
En 1983, Rodney Dangerfield entró a un estudio de grabación y emergió siendo una estrella de hip hop gracias a Rapping Rodney.
I played hide and seek when I was 3.
No respect, no respect.
Why they wouldn't even look for me?
Before your Eminems and before your MC Search, Rodney Dangerfield was the first white rapper.
No respect.
Rodney's a natural rapper. He's great.
Nobody's better than Rodney.
What's the matter, Rodney?
Ah, death, where is my sting?
It's just rapping Rodney.
He was hot back then. This was when Rodney was still performing everywhere, selling out. He was doing all these movies, so he thought he could do no wrong. And I guess so did the people around him.
Can't get a break.
He wasn't as awful as he could have been, because he could have really messed it up. He's like a 60, 70-year-old white dude rapping.
What's the matter, Rodney?
Ah, it ain't easy being me.
It's just rapping Rodney.
Does rock and roll change your sex life at all? Yes, it has quite a bit. Yes. I used to be gay, you know.
Can't get a break.
Se limitó a hacer películas y shows después de su incursión en la música. Actuó hasta que murió en noviembre de 2004 a los 82 años.
Rodney was incredible. Love the guy.
The heaviness, I can't take it no more.
Número 88, Nick Kershaw, Wouldn't It Be Good. Era demasiado apuesto para estar triste, pero en 1984 Nick Kershaw dejó fluir la melancolía con Wouldn't It Be Good.
Wouldn't It Be Good was a great song.
He was a time capsule of that early 80s thing. I love that song.
It's getting harder. I knew all the words of the song, and I had the song on a vinyl. I'm sick of fighting, even though I know I should.
It's a song about how everybody's really lonely, none of our dreams come true, and one listener, you could tell that Nick Kershaw lived it.
Nick Kershaw was kind of a mysterious dude. He had a strange video where he had the suit that was always reflecting something else.
Nick fue tan popular en el Reino Unido que cantó en Live Aid al año siguiente, pero Estados Unidos nunca llegó a conocerlo.
America is very different from me because of the way I've evolved over there. I haven't done a lot of TV over there, so people have usually heard me before they've seen me.
Hacia 1990 abandonó la fama para componer para Elton John y Bonnie Tyler. Pero su paréntesis no duró. Volvió a salir de gira y a grabar en 1999 y sigue cantando Wouldn't It Be Good con mucha frecuencia.
What a great song. Wonderful, melodic. That song reminds me of why we go back to 80s songs and want to hear them again.
All that power and glory rolled into one song. I stand in awe, my friends. Anyway, check out what's on tap.
A continuación, Vixen acepta su legado.
The one-hit wonder label is fine with me. It's better than no-hit wonder.
Y el éxito dance de Patrice Rushen.
You don't get good sex like you did in the 80s.
Enseguida en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
This is VH1's 100 Greatest One-Hit Wonders of the 80s, and we're continuing our countdown with the band that got me through the decade with their raw sexual power and some kick-ass guitar, I might add. A band I'd now like to honor as one of Judah's one-hit honors.
El hit caliente de Judah.
Behold, Vixen. Way prettier than Motley Crue. They were the centerfold in the Parade magazine of my heart. So here's to you, Vixen. You hold a permanent place in my Spank Bank. You're like Spank Bank Emeritus. And your song is in at number 87.
Número 87. Vixen, Edge of a Broken Heart. Actitud metálica, aerosol para pulverizar la capa de ozono y... Richard Marx. Vixen llegó con Edge of a Broken Heart de 1988.
See, back then you used to watch videos and you would go, Dude, check out these chicks. Those chicks are hot. But the girls could play their instrument.
We had recorded our first record without Edge of a Broken Heart, and our manager asked Richard Marx to please write us a strong hit single.
Richard Marx wrote Edge of a Broken Heart? Wow.
We had a great time, and I hope they ask me back on the next album.
Good for him.
When Edge of a Broken Heart first came out, it was pretty much from nowhere to everywhere overnight.
Vixen colgó sus peines en 1991. Intentaron modernizarse, pero nunca volvieron a tener una canción popular. En la actualidad, la ex cantante Janet Garner trabaja en higiene dental y la guitarrista Jan Kuhneman sigue con Vixen y 3 nuevas chicas metálicas. ¿Qué dicen de haber tenido un solo éxito?
I suppose we're in that category, darn it. I'd like to be in the legends category or something, but didn't happen that way, so I'm not offended.
The one-hit wonder label is fine with me. It doesn't bother me at all, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much for including us. It's better than a no-hit wonder.
Número 86, Patrice Rushen, Forgive Me Not. Era un prodigio del piano, una célebre cantante de jazz, una demandada música de sesión. Pero en 1982, Patrice demostró ser una estrella pop con su éxito Forgive Me Not.
Patrice Rushen, Forget Me Nots, that was the jam. How can you not love a woman with micro braids?
It's just a hot song. Everybody want to sing along with it.
Help me to remember.
Ready?
Remember the bass line? You had to have a bass line. You had to use your thumb.
That sax was sexy. Oh, but you don't get good sax like you did in the 80s.
Forget Me Not fue el único éxito de Patrice y fue versionado por todos, desde George Michael a Will Smith, quien lo usó en Hombres de Negro. Desde los 80, Patrice compone para cine y televisión y trabaja como directora musical de especiales como los Emmy y los Grammy. A los 55 años aún encuentra tiempo para rescatar perros y para enseñar música a niños pobres.
Now remember, I don't want any parts. I want it on a score.
She was a great performer, and that song will live on forever. That is the
Número 85, Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers, Tomorrow People. Por ser el hijo de la mayor estrella de reggae, había muchas esperanzas en Ziggy. En 1989 lograron tener una canción entre las 40 más escuchadas de los Estados Unidos. Fue Tomorrow People.
Ziggy Marley, come on, man. That's like the man.
Oh, it's a good song, Tomorrow People. Because it's talking about all of us. When you listen to the lyrics, Ziggy's talking about all of us.
It was forward-thinking, it was political, it was smart, and there wasn't a cooler guy on the planet than Ziggy Marley.
Ganó un Grammy, pero Ziggy nunca volvió a tener otro éxito. Desde entonces se casó, tuvo 5 hijos y compuso Love Is My Religion de 2008. También presta su voz a películas animadas y fundó una organización sin fines de lucro para niños jamaiquinos.
Do something for children, you know, so we're very happy to do that.
He follows in his father's footsteps, you know what I'm saying? He's always talking about something significant, something deep.
Número 84, The Church, Under the Milky Way. The Church eran una banda australiana de rock alternativo antes de que ese rock tuviera un nombre. En 1988 se hicieron famosos con Under the Milky Way.
Sometimes when this place gets kind of empty.
In the 80s, the only people who really listened to alternative rock were the freaks. For a band like The Church to break into the mainstream with a hit single was a very rare thing.
This song is so good. It's dark, moody guitar rock that's so romantic and so yearning.
Steve Kilby's vocals make you wish you could murmur in your weird art school girlfriend's ear in exactly that tone of voice, but man, you just can't do it.
La banda se hizo muy famosa en Australia, pero la canción fue su único éxito en los Estados Unidos. En 2001, Under the Milky Way fue utilizada en la película de culto Donnie Darko. Ahora la banda sigue llenando estadios en su país natal, como en los Juegos de Buena Voluntad de 2006. Como si eso no bastara, un periódico de Melbourne dijo que Under the Milky Way era la mejor canción australiana de los últimos 21 años.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a killer tune. I mean, I've heard folk singers sing it. I've heard all kinds of people cover this, and the song always stands up.
Tons more 80s one-hit wonders on the way, so keep it here.
A continuación, un éxito que olvidó toda su sutilidad. Enseguida, los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80. Más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80.
We're counting down the top 100 one-hit wonders of the 80s. Next, it's Boom Boom, Let's Go Back to My Room by Paul Lukakis. Not to be confused with Boom Boom, Out Go the Lights by Pat Travers. But both clearly come from the same artistic place. A place of boominess, if you will. Here's Paul.
Número 83. Paul Lukakis, Boom Boom, Let's Go Back to My Room. En 1987, Paul Lukakis puso a todos en movimiento con Boom Boom, Let's Go Back to My Room, pero sin ninguna sutileza.
I have no idea what the song is about, but I do love having sex to it.
Yeah, girl. Let's go back to my room and we can have sex. There's no subtlety to him whatsoever.
Paul consiguió un contrato con una discográfica y a la vez se enteró de que tenía VIH.
It was life-altering. And I had found out before my record contract had ended, so I had to really keep everything under wraps.
Para peor, las ventas de su álbum fueron muy bajas. Su discográfica lo abandonó y recurrió a la prostitución para pagar sus cuentas y su adicción a las drogas.
My behavior from my drugs and alcohol was taking a toll on me because I had HIV. And then I started getting sober with the help of a lot of different 12-step programs. I got back into recording music and I got to do a couple films. So I just basically use all of my experience, to kind of propel me to where I am today.
Hoy Paul goza de buena salud y escribe un libro sobre su vida.
It's a memoir. There's a lot that people don't know what it was like back in the 80s and 90s in my career and everything to do with my life.
Número 82. Red Rider, Lunatic Fringe. Los canadienses Red Rider, liderados por Tom Cochrane, asustaron a los admiradores del pop en 1982 con Lunatic Fringe.
Lunatic Fringe is such a different song in the way it was put together and how it started with just noise and it builds and it crashes.
I was on constant AOR rotation for years and years, and nobody ever knew what it was called or who it was by.
The song itself is so hooky, so mysterious.
It had a distinct sort of Pink Floyd-y kind of sound.
Se separaron en el 89, pero Tom Cochrane como solista tuvo un éxito más en 1991, Life is a Highway.
He'll be in the 90s one-hit wonders. I'm just going to go ahead and warn everybody right now.
En la actualidad, Tom, de 55 años, vive con su esposa y sus hijas en Ontario. En 2008 se clasificó para el Campeonato Canadiense de Golf Aficionado para Mayores. En la actualidad, Tom sale de gira con Red Rider, que se volvió a reunir en 2002 y sigue tocando Lunatic French.
It's just one of those great songs that doesn't get old. It's truly original and a great song.
It's the 100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s, and we've come to our top song of the hour. A song that asks the explosive question, Johnny, are you queer?
Número 81, Josie Cotton, Johnny, Are You Queer? Fue su único éxito, pero la canción de 1982 se convirtió en una de las más controvertidas de la historia.
It's kind of classic. It's iconic. First reaction when I heard Johnny, Are You Queer? You're kind of like, what? Are you really talking about like gay stuff?
Here's the thing about Johnny, Are You Queer? If you have to ask, the answer's probably yes.
Johnny, Are You Queer is on the soundtrack to one of the greatest 80s movies ever, Valley Girl.
Josie Cotton does the song at the prom. It's a real tearjerker.
Fue compuesta para The Go-Go's luego de que Jane Wiedlin dijera que todos los chicos lindos de Los Ángeles eran gays. Cuando ellos no la aceptaron, llegó a manos de Josie, la rockera punk.
I thought it was hysterical. I didn't know it was going to cause an international uproar.
It made homophobes mad because it was talking about gay people. And it made gay people mad because it was like, why are you calling me queer? You know, just everybody take a deep breath.
It was an anthem for the gay community on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, they really had a problem with the song. And when the cover of Village Voice was, Josie, Are You a Bitch? They thought I was attacking them, and it was so not the case.
Después de tanta controversia, Josie se retiró en 1985 y ahora administra el estudio de grabación Satellite Park. Josie volvió al ruedo en 2006 y desde entonces lanzó 2 álbumes nuevos. Mejor aún, por fin está recibiendo buenas críticas por Johnny, Are You Queer?
Many communications I've had with people in the gay community, that was a song where they realized that it was okay to be gay. So that was a sweet thing to hear.
All right, that's enough. That's cool.
All right.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's it for the first hour of VH1's greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. But there are 80 more magical songs ahead. Yeah!
Put me down and say I'm going nowhere. Save me, darling. I am down, but I am far from over. Give me something. I need it all 'cause I am running over. I'm running over. I'm running over.
Yeah, Frankie.
They were shooting stars, shining bright, and then they were gone. The greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s.
En la era de los excesos hicieron historia con una sola canción.
Science.
Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
Damn, that's taking me back.
VH1 preguntó, ustedes votaron y ahora veremos la cuenta regresiva de las mejores sensaciones singulares de la década.
It's like the Citizen Kane of 80s pop music.
Wow, that was something special.
Prepárense para conocer a los responsables de los éxitos de los 80.
This song was awesome.
Y averigüen qué pasó con los fabulosos artistas que nos dejaron con ganas de más.
We are still recognized, especially in the Northwest.
Vean quienes aún buscan su segundo éxito.
I don't lose sleep about getting another hit record, but hey, never say never.
Y quienes están orgullosos de haber tenido un solo éxito.
I'm Sugar Bear from EU, and I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder.
Admítanlo, sin ellos los 80 hubieran sido muy aburridos. Ahora por fin se les reconocerá su mérito.
I'd rather be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit wonder.
Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Su anfitrión, Judah Freelander.
One Hit Wonders totally rule, dude. Yeah!
Los 100 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
What's up? It's Judah Friedlander, and these are your picks for greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. They're the artists with one song so awesome they didn't need to follow it up. They just said, here it is. Suck on that for about 25 years. Let's start this hour off with a real classic from Mr. Eddie Murphy.
Número 80. Eddie Murphy, Party All the Time. En los 80, Eddie Murphy era una superestrella de cine y de pronto decidió grabar un disco. ¿Por qué? Porque podía. Con la ayuda del productor Rick James, Eddie lanzó su single debut en 1985, Party All the Time.
Where do we begin? This song was awesome. It was pop genius. A fun song.
He was the biggest comedy star in America when that song hit. Eddie could do no wrong.
And Rick James, you know, he was full of narcotics, so he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
During the video, Eddie is rocking it and he's killing it, and Rick James is like surging with ecstasy. He cannot stop himself. He has to strap on a guitar, walk on out there onto the floor and rock along with Eddie.
Eddie grabó 2 discos más, pero se dedicó a su carrera cinematográfica. Su éxito en la taquilla fluctúa, pero él sigue siendo una superestrella y una sorpresa detrás del micrófono.
Donkey in Shrek, he's singing there. At Dreamgirls, his performance was so good that if he wanted to put out an album, I think it would be huge.
Plain and simple, Eddie's the man. You crazy.
Número 79. Alana Miles, Black Velvet. La rockera canadiense Alana Miles cerró los 80 con su suave estilo sureño al llegar al primer puesto con el aterciopelado Black Velvet.
Black Velvet is a great song because Alana Miles has a great voice. I mean, she's got a real sort of smoky quality.
Really soared, you know, and she really belted it out.
Black Velvet went to #1 in almost every country in the world except for London, England. And I don't think I was very happy with the success. I think I wanted it to go away as fast as it came.
Alana ganó un Grammy y vendió millones de discos, pero nunca recibió dinero por Black Velvet por problemas con su discográfica.
I was an artist, not an accountant, not a lawyer, not a manager.
Por eso debió pagar las cuentas haciendo presentaciones en Europa y conduciendo Beyond, una serie sobre sucesos paranormales en 2005.
Waves are an essential fabric of our universe, both here and beyond.
Ahora Alana volvió a hacer música. En 2008 lanzó Black Velvet, su primer álbum de los últimos 8 años, que incluye una nueva versión de su exitosa canción. Y pese a las altas y bajas, está conforme con el impacto que la canción tuvo en su carrera.
Black Velvet. It just won't go away. To this day, I'm very well loved and people have not forgotten me. So I now accept that as my godsend.
Número 78. Aldo Nova, Fantasy. El rockero canadiense Aldo Nova pagó su derecho de piso al hacer de George Harrison en Beatlemania, pero en 1982 un ceñido traje de leopardo lo ayudó a cumplir su fantasía con Fantasy.
Where to start talking about Fantasy by Aldo Nova? It's an epic song.
That song rocks, man.
Pero la melodía no era nada comparada con el video, un plato fuerte de la cursilería de los 80.
Only in the 80s would you have a music video that took about 3 minutes to get started because a helicopter was landing and someone was using their electric guitar to shoot lasers.
Don't worry, Aldo Nova in his leopard pajamas with his Star Wars guitar will open the door for you.
The helicopter scene, the laser scene, that was totally my idea.
What about the song, though? How do you feel about the song?
Amazing guitar solos. We've got to be glad it's captured like a time capsule to represent the dreams of adolescent males everywhere during the 80s.
En los 90, Aldo intentó un desventurado regreso con la ayuda de su amigo John Bon Jovi, pero sin el animal print.
That's another thing I've got to live down, a leopard suit 10 years later, you know?
Well, it's not here tonight.
No, it isn't, no. Finally got some real good clothes.
Aldo continuó componiendo para gente como Clay Aiken de American Idol y para su compatriota Celine Dion.
If you think about it, it actually does fit that he would write songs for Celine Dion.
But the song holds up.
Número 77, General Public, Tenderness. Rankin Roger y Dave Wakeling, ex miembros de The English Beat, formaron General Public y fundaron la nueva ola pop en 1984 con la súper empalagosa Tenderness.
I love this song. It's so sweet. I know.
It may be the ultimate 80s 8th grade dance song. It's perfect.
It's the one that all the girls used to dance to, like this.
They seem to be seriously concerned about tenderness. They made a video for it that's sort of like a combination of them on a photo shoot and a UNICEF ad.
Fue un éxito, pero General Public nunca logró repetirlo y hacia fines de la década ya se habían separado. Dave se mudó a Los Ángeles y siguió rockeando y Roger pasó a otra industria.
Now I'm an inline instructor. I teach people how to skate.
Aunque ahora estén en diferentes continentes, la obra maestra de estos cantantes aún emociona a sus admiradores.
I think if you listen to General Public's Tenderness today, it's going to immediately invoke the 80s in your mind. It's wired in my brain.
This one still sounds awesome.
There are still 76 songs left on this thing, and we'll keep counting them down after the break.
A continuación, las primeras damas de los One Hit Wonders del hip hop. Y la pregunta que a todo One Hit Wonder le encanta escuchar.
People go, you get tired of singing Key Largo.
Enseguida, en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Los grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
That's right, we're back. And we'd like to salute a supporting player in the group at number 76. She's one of the unsung heroes of One Hit Wonderland.
Héroes no reconocidos de One Hit Wonderlandia.
This hour, it's Baby D from the hip-hop group JJ Fad. She was just 15 when their hit, Supersonic, came out. A high-top dynamo who rapped 400% faster than most dudes or chicks. Baby D, you had mad flow, maybe the maddest, and for that, we honor you.
We're JJ Fad.
Número 76, JJ Fad, Supersonic.
Supersonic.
Con ritmos devastadores que sabían que gustarían, el trío de Los Ángeles JJ Fad anotó un jonrón en 1988 con Supersonic.
When you put the word fad in the name of your group, you're basically asking just to have one hit. But what a hit it was.
Chicks that are rocking your world. Supersonic.
Dr. Dre produced Supersonic.
It just showed his versatility in production, and those three girls pulled it off.
S is for super and the U is for unique.
The P is for perfection, and you know that we are freaks. The E is for exotic, and the R is for raps. So tell those nosy people just to stay the hell back. Supersonic. Them big everlasting ears.
Supersonic logró que JJ Fad se convirtieran en las primeras raperas en ser nominadas a un Grammy, pero no las ayudó a largo plazo.
The second album, it didn't fare too well, and then we lost our record deal. So we put our minds in family mode, and I went to nursing school, and that's what I do to this day.
I'm in the medical field as well. I'm a respiratory therapist when I'm married. Hi, honey. And I have 4 children.
As of right now, I'm a front desk clerk, and I have 4 children.
Wow, we have a lot.
En 2009, más de 20 años después de su debut, las damas anunciaron tener planes de grabar un nuevo álbum y hacer giras.
Now's the time for us. They're old enough for us to let go just a little bit and continue our career.
We're looking at other options to get back out there and show our stuff.
We are here.
That's right. Don't forget.
We're JJ Bad and we're here to rock.
Número 75, Bertie Higgins y Largo. En 1982, un hombre logró fusionar los suaves sonidos del trópico con el estilo romántico de Humphrey Bogart. Ese hombre fue Bertie Higgins, un nativo de Florida, y la canción era Key Largo.
Key Largo is a soft rock classic.
It's a great song, first of all, because of Birdie's great vocals. You gotta respect that. On top of that, it was a tribute to Bogey and McCall's romance. So you can't go wrong with that. You got the romance, you got the smooth singer. Feels good, don't it? We had it all. Just like Bogey and McCall.
It's a great song. You feel like you're on a boat with a pina colada and staring at Bertie Higgins, which is a beautiful combination.
Sailing away to Key Largo. I was going with this girl at the time, and she left me. And I figured that the best way to turn her around was to get on the radio. Then we ended up with a #1 record. But it all worked out, and we ended up getting married. Just like they did in Key Largo.
Lamentablemente, el barco de Bertie se hundió después de Key Largo. En los 90 sucumbió al alcoholismo, se divorció y pasó un tiempo tras las rejas por conducir ebrio.
Those times in my life are behind me. We try to move on and live as straight up as I can.
En la actualidad, el cantante está abocado al cine. Produce y protagoniza películas de bajo presupuesto dirigidas por su hijo, Julian, como Poker Run de 2007.
Is that what you're wearing to poker tonight? Cute.
Con respecto a la música, Bertie y su banda de Pirates siguen rockeando en los trópicos y 25 años después aún le gusta la canción que lo convirtió en estrella.
People go, you get tired of singing Key Largo? No, because when you go out on stage, it's like the first time I ever sang it. The crowd goes, wow, you can feel the power of the audience.
Número 74, Information Society, What's on Your Mind? Si la nueva ola y el pop dance de los 80 tuvieran un bebé, quizás sería Information Society, que hizo llegar esta canción al tercer puesto en 1988.
I really liked that song, and I had it on a single, which was the only way to listen to one-hit wonders like this.
What you're thinking, there are some things you can't hide.
Pure Energy, it's a sample from the great Leonard Nimoy, Spock on Star Trek.
Pure Energy.
Los chicos siguieron grabando sin tener éxito hasta 1993, cuando la banda finalmente se separó. El cantante Kurt Harlan hoy produce audio para juegos de video.
I do sound effects and music for any and all of the games that come through the company.
Pero en 2004, Information Society tuvo la posibilidad de volver a reunirse para Bands Reunited de VH1. Todos aceptaron menos Kurt.
I think it's a bad idea.
Pero no se preocupen, en 2005 aceptó y se reencontró con su banda. Ahora la formación original hace algunas presentaciones con mucha energía pura.
Love it. It still holds up. I absolutely love it.
Número 73, Paul Hardcastle, 19.
In Vietnam, he was 19.
El londinense Paul Hardcastle tomó a un periodista tartamudo, le agregó un ritmo pop con sintetizadores y consiguió un éxito: la controvertida melodía de 1985 contra la guerra de Vietnam.
The heaviest fighting of the past 2 weeks continues today, 25 miles northwest of Saigon.
In 1985, Paul Hardcastle has a hit song with vocals that are sampled from a documentary about the Vietnam War.
In Vietnam.
That's just strange. He was saying that the average age of most of the cats that, died, unfortunately, in the Vietnam War was age 19.
19. He couldn't even say it. It was so disturbing.
I was watching a
TV program here called Vietnam Requiem, and there was two striking facts really about the program. One was the age of the soldiers that were out there, and the second one was that upon returning, none of them, as it says in the record, received the hero's welcome.
None of them received the hero's welcome.
The weirdest thing about that song was that this was kind of like a club song that people like dancing to.
Lamentablemente, 19 no era fehacientemente correcta.
Apparently, Paul Hardcastle used incorrect information from ABC News. 23 was the average age of the soldier in Vietnam.
23. It wouldn't have had the same rhythm.
19 fue el único éxito de Paul, pero eso no evitó que él siguiera trabajando. Además de componer música para programas de televisión y películas como Spice World, él sigue produciendo música electrónica dance e incluso ahora compone jazz contemporáneo en su propia discográfica.
Paul, to this day, definitely one hit wonder, but as they sample and release this song overseas or wherever, he's getting checks. Keep it here. VH1's greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. We'll be right back.
A continuación, el canto de sirenas de una superestrella de telenovelas.
That song is hot. I ain't gonna front.
Y el fraseo más contagioso de los 80.
Literally everyone in America could play.
Enseguida, los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
We're celebrating the majesty of one-hit wonders from the 80s. Here's our next gem.
Número 72. Swing Out Sister, Breakout. Si se pudiera decir que una canción es la más increíblemente sensiblera de la historia, podría decírselo de esta gema de 1987.
Swing Out Sister was this dance techno group from England. I don't know why a little black kid would have any interest in these people, but I sang that song all the time.
Real textbook definition of a one-hit wonder. If you look up one-hit wonder, it says see Swing Out Sister.
Haya tenido uno o muchos éxitos, Corinne Drewberry no pasó inadvertida.
The lead singer of Swing Out Sister was banging. She was fine. She excited me.
She had great bangs in the video. Like, nobody was rocking those bangs at that time.
Después de Breakout, el trío se convirtió en un dúo. No tuvieron más éxitos en los Estados Unidos, pero el grupo nunca dejó de trabajar. Son famosos en Japón y ahora están grabando su 10º álbum de estudio.
Whoever thought there would be a 10th Swing Out Sister album? What a world, what a universe.
Número 71. Jack Wagner, All I Need. En 1984, el galán de telenovelas Jack Wagner hizo desmayar a sus admiradoras con la empalagosa trascendencia de su canción All I Need.
That song was hot. I ain't gonna front.
Jack Wagner, so handsome. He was on General Hospital. Such a good-looking guy.
Aren't you Frisco Jones?
No, yeah.
I wasn't looking for true love.
I grew up with all sisters, so yeah, I knew Frisco. I ain't proud of it.
When I was cast as Frisco Jones, Rick Springfield had just left and John Stamos was actually on his way out. So they were bringing in a new male character who was a singer in their band on the show.
Nothing makes me feel more nostalgic for a simpler time than Jack Wagner having hit records. If I look for a lesson in this, it's that the astoundingly handsome will always prevail. And that warms my heart.
Jack grabó 3 discos más y siguió haciendo de Frisco hasta 1995, cuando comenzó a actuar en Melrose Place. Allí conoció a su coestrella y futura novia Heather Locklear, con quien comenzó a salir en 2007. Después de Melrose, Jack hizo una temporada en Broadway en Jekyll y Hyde, y en 2003 regresó a la televisión diurna en The Bold and the Beautiful. Pero All I Need sigue siendo su gran orgullo.
To accomplish that, to be a one-hit wonder, to have a hit record, forget that I sang it. It's just a great record, and great records are just great records.
It's easy to believe.
'Cause you're all I need.
Número 70, Harold Faltermeyer, Axel F. Quizás no todos recuerden el nombre Harold Faltermeyer, pero este alemán dejó su huella en la música en 1984 con Axel F, la ridículamente pegadiza canción de un detective suelto en Hollywood.
I don't care what country you live in, you know the theme, Axel F.
You couldn't pry it out of your head. It was ridiculous.
Oh my God. During the 80s, like everyone for Christmas got like a really Casio, and literally everyone in America could play.
It's the first bass line I learned how to play. Eddie Murphy was a pimp in that movie.
La canción alcanzó el puesto número 3 y de pronto Harold se encontró muy solicitado componiendo canciones para películas como Fletch, Tango y Cash y Top Gun. En 2005, Crazy Frog, una banda alemana de música dance, dio nueva y molesta vida a Axel F y ocupó los primeros puestos de toda Europa.
What's going on?
The early days of ringtones, he did this version where like a frog is playing it, and it was really annoying, but it was a hit again.
Este mega éxito ocupa su merecido lugar entre la realeza de las bandas de sonido.
This song remains the most recognizable. You immediately think Eddie Murphy. You immediately think of the movie. It was pretty brilliant.
Número 69, T'Pau, Heart and Soul. Liderados por Carol Decker, la banda inglesa T'Pau hizo una gran hazaña con Heart and Soul en 1987, pero nadie lo notó hasta que Pepe Jeans la usó en una publicidad y la lanzó al éxito.
First off, their name is T'Pau. Pow!
And then, T'Pau! She would knock you with these pipes that were like unbelievable. Seriously, she has an amazing voice.
Oh man, I remember when I was a kid, this was one of the songs that I would sing to my stuffed animals.
La banda lanzó un par de álbumes después de Heart and Soul, pero no logró tener otro éxito. En 1991 decidieron separarse.
Once you've been that big, it's a little hard to wrap your head around getting smaller, smaller, smaller.
Tras un breve intento solista, Decker, ahora casada y con 2 hijos, reunió y modernizó a T'Pau en 1997 y desde entonces recorren el circuito nostálgico de los 80.
10,000 tickets, 12,000, and there's just so much demand for the 80s.
Número 68, Peter Schilling, Major Tom, Coming Home. Era un alemán poco conocido con las agallas para reimaginar un clásico de David Bowie. La usada jugada de Peter Schilling rindió sus frutos en 1982, cuando alcanzó el primer puesto con Major Tom.
Standing there alone, the ship is waiting, all systems are go. Are you sure?
The song was a retelling of Space Oddity from David Bowie, so it kind of had that weird David Bowie vibe to it.
It's a very 80s song. It's one of those definitive synth pop classics.
4, 3, 2, 1.
This song was just infectious from beginning to end. And, you know, everybody loves a dying astronaut.
Las siguientes canciones de Peter no estuvieron tan bien y en los 90 se tomó un descanso de la industria. Por suerte regresó algunos años después. Ahora ya grabó 18 álbumes y en 2005 publicó un libro de autoayuda cuyo título es algo así como Las emociones son masculinas. Incluso hoy sigue siendo famoso en la tierra de la cerveza.
He's still big in Germany. He's got that Hasselhoff appeal.
Lots more fun from the golden age of synthesizers on the way. Here's a look.
A continuación, Martika, sí, por favor.
Toy Soldiers was a hot song.
Y un guitarrista ciego que provoca algunas lágrimas.
I think every girl melted a little bit when they heard that song.
Enseguida, los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
Right now, it's a song from one of our countdown's most gorgeous women. A lady I'd like to christen as another one of Judah's one-hit hotties.
El hit caliente de Judas.
Martika, Prince protege and singer of Toy Soldiers. As Prince did, I found Martika to be a fine-looking woman. But unlike Prince, I've never really been within 10 feet of her, nor have I played the Super Bowl in a turban. At least not yet. Here's to you, Martika.
Puesto número 67, Martika, Toy Soldiers. Marta Marrero, alias Martika, ex miembro de Kids Incorporated, pasó de estrella adolescente a ser una seductora solista en 1989 con su himno contra las drogas, Toy Soldiers, que alcanzó el primer puesto.
Toy Soldiers was a hot song.
I loved the Martika song when it came out. She had a really ethereal voice.
It turns out that the kids from Kids Incorporated were singing that refrain in the background. So, believe it or not, Fergie and Jennifer Love Hewitt are actually in that song.
If you want to know the truth, I wrote about somebody who's really close to me who had a problem with cocaine.
When Martika came out, I was like, this girl might be some big star.
She was one of those that I thought would stick around for longer, especially when she paired up with Prince.
Prince escribió canciones para el segundo álbum de Martika, pero no ocupó ningún puesto de los 100 más escuchados y en los 90 desapareció. Pero en 2004, Eminem fue a su rescate, rejuveneció el gran éxito de Martika y su carrera con su canción Like Toy Soldiers. Martika aprovechó el renovado interés. Hoy canta con su esposo en la banda ópera de pop gótico.
She's hot as hell. She can come back. She could certainly sing, and she hit it out of the park with Toy Soldiers.
Número 66, The Jeff Healey Band, Angel Eyes. El guitarrista canadiense Jeff Healey quedó ciego al cumplir un año, pero eso no le impidió componer música muy dulce como Angel Eyes de 1989.
Girl, you're looking fine tonight.
His song Angel Eyes was a beautiful ballad. I think every girl melted a little bit when they heard that song.
What you're doing.
Blind guy, guitarist, and really talented dude, and in one of the best movies ever made, Roadhouse.
The movie Roadhouse, it made people aware that here's this guy who's playing his guitar, and he's blind, and he's got this amazing voice.
He would put his guitar on his lap and play it as if he were playing slide guitar.
Jeff, how'd the guitar end up in your lap?
I dropped it.
Fue la única canción de Jeff que llegó al top 40, pero se casó, tuvo 2 hijos, conservó sus admiradores y se convirtió en un ícono del blues. Si bien en 2002 se retiró de la Jeff Healey Band, este autodidacta trompetista formó en 2003 Jeff Healey and the Jazz Wizards. Lamentablemente, Jeff murió en 2008 del mismo cáncer recurrente que le había costado la vista cuando era un bebé. Tenía solo 41 años.
He dealt with a personal struggle being blind and became the master of his guitar and of his voice and persevered and had a great career, even though he had really one hit.
He really was a lovely singer as well as an extraordinary guitar player. Anyone on this planet would agree. And he was well loved and he will be sorely missed.
Número 65, The Boomtown Rats, I Don't Like Mondays. Liderado por el pop y humanitario Bob Geldof, los irlandeses de Boomtown Rats alcanzaron la costa estadounidense en los 80 con I Don't Like Mondays. Una inquietante balada de la nueva ola basada en una tragedia real.
I Don't Like Mondays is a classic. Bob Geldof just giving this real performance that's like kind of pitchy and excellent.
It sounds very light on the surface, but you dig underneath and it's really dark and horrible.
The story was of a girl in San Diego, California named Brenda Ann Spencer. She went on like a shooting spree. And when they asked her why she did it, the answer was, I don't like Mondays.
It seems such a glib, flip thing to say after doing something so terrible. It's a very memorable song.
Most people thought it was about waking up on Monday morning with a hangover, and somebody saying, geez, you look rough, and he goes, I don't like Mondays.
La banda nunca volvió a tener éxito en los Estados Unidos, pero Bob recién comenzaba. En 1984, él y Mitch Ure de Ultravox compusieron la canción Do They Know It's Christmas para Band Aid. Al año siguiente organizaron Live Aid, un enorme concierto que recaudó millones de dólares para combatir el hambre en África. Geldof lanzó algunos álbumes solistas, pero es más famoso por su activismo político, por ser padre soltero de 4 niñas y por haber sido nombrado caballero. En 2005 organizó la continuación de Live Aid, Live 8. Bastante legendario por haber tenido tan solo un éxito.
I Don't Like Mondays showed who Bob Geldof was before Bob Geldof was very famous. He showed his true colors.
The whole day down.
Número 64, Robbie Dupree, Still Away. El rock suave parecía un juego de los 70, pero sus melodías más pegadizas llegaron una década más tarde, como la exitosa canción de Robbie Dupree de 1980, Still Away.
Come on and hold me.
Great song. Come on and hold me. Great record, man.
This is a song about like, look, let's stop what we're doing. When they steal away, I'm gonna make some love.
Why don't we steal away? Why don't we steal away?
Robbie Dupree's got a very like Kenny Loggins vibe.
Robbie había estado en el negocio muchos años antes de lanzar Still Away, tocando con gente como Nile Rodgers de Chic. Si bien tuvo mucho éxito, la situación cambió algunos años después.
The low moment in my career came in 1982 when I got dropped by Elektra, and I thought that that ride was going to continue a little bit longer than it did. It was very disheartening, but you get by all that stuff. You know, there's a lot worse things can happen than that.
I caught you glancing my way, and I know what you're at.
En la actualidad, Robbie descansa en Woodstock, donde tuvo un restaurante, tiene su barco, su música y sus recuerdos.
Steal Away by far was my biggest hit. To date, it's probably pushing 3 million airplay in America alone. It's hard to ever rival that again. You know, that was just a very rare moment.
There are a lot of dudes with a lot of funny haircuts still to come, so don't move.
A continuación, Orange Juice Jones inicia el combate.
Orange Juice Jones was my...
Enseguida, en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Los grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
Time for more one-hit wonder magic. Next up, Orange Jones, better known as Orange Juice Jones. Know why they call him that? I don't know. He must really like juice.
Número 63, Orange Juice Jones, The Rain. Esta canción de 1986 era un llamado a las armas para los novios traicionados. El cantante Orange Juice Jones entró al top 10 con la mejor canción de rupturas de la historia.
Orange Juice Jones was my...
That man told it like it was.
Orange juice is the truth.
A liberation song about liberating oneself from a bad situation.
This started out as this suave 80s R&B love jam where he's like really kind of sad.
singing this song that his chick is cheating on him. Now, the second half of the song is when Orange Juice Jones throws it down.
He just goes through this amazing spoken word rant.
Hey, baby, how you doing? Come on in here. Got some hot chocolate on the stove waiting for you.
He really sets her up.
He's like, hey, babe, how you doing? You all right?
How's the day today? You miss me?
And she thinks she's all warm and toasty, but that's when he confronts her.
I miss you so much, I followed you today.
That's right. Now close your mouth, because you cold busted.
You cold busted? It don't get colder than that.
Out here so upset with you, don't know what to do.
El futuro de Oran parecía prometedor, pero se alejó de la industria cuando su madre contrajo una enfermedad terminal.
I had a hit record. This was $1 million+ sales. You know, nominated for 2 Grammys. I had a choice to make. You know, some cats think I sacrificed a career, but I think I gained a lot more. What I do now, I produce commercials, I write and arrange songs, but it all serves the same purpose. It allows me the time to raise my children. I gave you things I couldn't even pronounce.
En la actualidad, el productor Juice comparte tiempo en el estudio con su hijo rapero Mookie. Además, graba un nuevo álbum y hace bandas de sonido para películas.
Orange Juice Jones, when he came, he saw he conquered, he moved on. He did. It's my world, you're just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Número 62, XTC, Dear God. Esta controvertida crítica al Todopoderoso de 1987 no estaba pensada para ser lanzada, ni mucho menos para convertirse en un éxito en los Estados Unidos.
XTC, absolute favorite band of all time. Dear God, wow.
To find songs that actually deal with existentialism and big questions about the universe, it's super rare to find them done well. And this song is just like, I mean, it's a true masterpiece.
It's really funny because XTC were this incredibly ambitious 80s art rock band who just kind of fluked into a top 40 hit.
Dear God came out as the B-side of the single Grass. People flipped it over and listened to this song and couldn't believe what they were hearing.
He's really kind of giving God a tongue lashing. It is the most atheistic song to ever be a hit in the United States.
Pero el éxito del trío británico trajo algunos inconvenientes.
Anything about God and stuff like that is bound to upset Americans, so I guess you lot got upset about it. A radio station, I think it was in Florida, played it, and a peace-loving Christian phoned in and said, if you don't take the record off the air right now, I'm going to bomb the station. And I ain't joking, so they took it off the air.
XTC volvió a desaparecer en la escena alternativa después de Dear God y finalmente se separaron en 2006. Hoy Andy Partridge compone canciones y administra su propio sello, Ape. Además, ahora puede analizar el gran éxito de XTC.
It was a subject that I wanted to write a song about for a long time, and I failed gloriously trying to put it into one 3-minute song, but, you know, got to start somewhere.
It's you.
We are almost done with this hour, but we're going to go out with Da Butt by EU. This has always confused me. Are they saying doing the butt or something a little dirtier? Or am I just a pervert?
Número 61, EU, Da Butt. La banda agogó EU tocaba en Washington cuando el director Spike Lee les pidió que compusieran Da Butt para su película de 1988, School Days. ¿Está de más decir que hizo mover más de un trasero?
Well, come on. Do you really have to ask me why I'd like EU doing the butt? Who do you think you're talking to here, man? Hey, when you get that notion, put your back belt in motion. Hey, doing the butt. Hey, sexy, sexy.
Your buddy
is a dance like similar to the twist, and you know, you move your butt.
It ain't like the Macarena where you go to like, it ain't one of those. It's just like this. Turn around, bend over, wiggle it. You don't need Dancing with the Stars for that.
Doing the butt got out of hand.
The butt was like,
White girls are doing the butt.
Doing the butt.
Everybody was doing the butt. You're not gonna make me do the butt, are you? Sexy, sexy.
Ain't nothing wrong if you wanna do the butt all night long.
We went from playing like a 1,500 seat hall to a 20,000 seat stadium, and we tried to come back with another CD, but it wasn't successful. But that brought me back to reality.
Sin otro éxito, los miembros de la banda se habían ido en los 90. El cantante Gregory Sugar Bear Elliott se convirtió en maestro de educación especial.
It's a feeling you can't buy. It's real. I mean, because when you see them graduate, they come and hug you and they be so excited. That's like the butt. That's like the butt all over again.
Fuera del salón de clases, Sugar Bear sigue tocando con una nueva formación de EU y hacen bailar a multitudes cada noche al ritmo de The Bot.
What you asked for? 20 years straight. A lot of people don't have nothing to show for what they've done in life and music. And I got a big, giant one-hit wonder hit. So I'm extra happy.
40 up and 40 down. And now we've got 60 of the greatest one-hit wonders from the 80s left. It's a little difficult to say, but trust me.
Good news.
Their fame was fleeting, but their songs are forever. These are the 100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s.
En la era de los excesos hicieron historia con una sola canción. Los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80.
Damn, that's taking me back.
VH1 preguntó, ustedes votaron y ahora veremos la cuenta regresiva de las mejores sensaciones singulares de la década.
It's like the Citizen Kane of 80s pop music. Wow, that was something special.
Prepárense para conocer a los responsables de los éxitos de los 80.
This song was awesome.
Y averigüen qué pasó con los fabulosos artistas que nos dejaron con ganas de más.
We are still recognized, especially in the Northwest.
Vean quiénes aún buscan su segundo éxito.
I don't lose sleep about getting another hit record, but hey, never say never.
Y quienes están orgullosos de haber tenido un solo éxito.
I'm Sugar Bear from EU, and I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder.
Admítanlo, sin ellos los 80 hubieran sido muy aburridos. Ahora por fin se les reconocerá su mérito.
I'd rather be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit wonder.
Los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80. Su anfitrión, Judah Friedlander.
One-hit wonders totally rule, dude. Yeah!
Los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80.
Your votes are in, and we're counting down the greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. I'm your host, Judah Friedlander. Now, you might look down on one-hit wonders, but then again, how many hits do you have? I thought so. Let's take a look at number 60.
Número 60. New Shoes, I Can't Wait. En 1986, el matrimonio de Valerie Day y John Smith llevó su banda New Shoes al pináculo de la música pop con la inolvidablemente pegadiza I Can't Wait.
New Shoes, I Can't Wait, official 80s classic.
I love this song. Real talk, I listen to this song like at least once every 2 weeks.
First time I heard that, I thought that was a sister from Atlanta singing. Little did I know.
first time that I heard it on the radio, I went, oh my God, there's our song on the radio. And I cranked it really loud and I started singing along to it. And I just couldn't believe that I was singing along to myself on the radio.
La canción ocupó los primeros puestos y le hizo ganar al dúo de Oregon una nominación al Grammy por Artista Revelación, pero finalmente desaparecieron en los 90.
We were burnt by that time, so we put the band to bed and started focusing on other music projects and had that little boy of ours.
Desde entonces, John hace música para comerciales y Valerie canta en espectáculos de jazz como Brain Chemistry for Lovers. Pero en 2006 revivieron su antigua banda, reformaron la orquesta de New Juice y grabaron una versión acústica de I Can't Wait.
At this point in our lives, it's just great to make the music we want to make. We want people to hopefully like it, but if they're really married to the old new shoes, that's okay too.
I can't wait. Número 59, The Outfield, Your Love. Lo único más perfecto que su sonido de rock de estadio eran sus gloriosos cortes de cabello. Quizá fue por eso que The Outfield marcó un jonrón en 1986 con Your Love.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over.
Outfield's Your Love. It's just perfect pop song.
It's like the Citizen Kane of 80s pop music.
I just want to use your love tonight.
Everybody wants to use somebody's love tonight. I need love.
I don't want to lose your love tonight. I ain't got many friends to talk to.
Los admiradores hicieron llegar a Your Love al puesto número 6.
I just want to use your love tonight.
We get tons of letters from kids and they say, the summer of 86 means to me what your love was. Then that's a nice feeling, you know. Mm-hmm. Do a lot of people say that? More than that, yeah.
Después de un par de años difíciles en ventas, los muchachos se tomaron un descanso en los 90. Por suerte, The Outfield volvió a reunirse en 1998. John Spinks se está recuperando de un cáncer, pero siguen trabajando en su 12º álbum que se lanzará en 2009.
What's amazing is how that song still has a life of its own.
You can pretty much sing it in any bar, and half the bar will start singing along with you, whether there's karaoke or not. Go try it.
Número 58, Don Johnson, Heartbeat. Si bien ya gozaba de fama gracias a su estrellato en Miami Vice, Don Johnson quería más. Y por eso se dedicó a la música y en 1986 lanzó su única canción exitosa, Heartbeat.
When Don Johnson did Heartbeat, he was huge. It was like Don Johnson could do no wrong. Oh, you're an actor, you're on Miami Vice, you're amazing. What's that? You can sing? Let's do a video and song.
He got a little carried away with his stardom.
What a colossal piece of this was. I loved it.
La canción ocupó el 5º puesto en las listas, pero lo más interesante era su video. Una obra maestra con explosivos efectos especiales y exagerada exteriorización de sentimientos.
He was this tortured cinematographer, and his muse was this beautiful girl that was supposedly his
La manía por Don John pronto mermó, pero él siguió saliendo en las noticias por casarse y divorciarse de la actriz Melanie Griffith, por protagonizar la serie televisiva Nash Bridges y por participar en la producción de Guys and Dolls del West End de Londres en 2007. Con 60 años, él pasa su tiempo con sus 5 hijos y su esposa, Kelly Flagger, heredera de la fortuna Gary, y actúa cuando puede.
People may bust on Don Johnson and his singing career, but he did better than Philip Michael Thomas, because he put out an album too. And I don't remember there being one hit or any wonders on that album.
Número 57, Jermaine Stewart, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off. Bailaba en el programa para niños Soul Train y cantaba coros para Culture Club y Shalimar, pero el multitalentoso Jermaine Stewart no tuvo un éxito propio hasta 1986. El casto We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off.
Not a word from your lips.
I'm down with what Jermaine Stewart's saying because, you know, we don't have to rush this thing. Let's take our time.
So come on, baby, show some fire.
Thank you, sir.
finally, an ode to dry humping.
Cherry wine is like, listen, we drinking some hard liquor up in here. In Rock, Jameson, Jack, and then all clothes are coming off.
Lamentablemente, Jermaine solo pudo hacer unos pocos discos antes de morir por causa del SIDA en 1997. Aún así, su éxito sigue escuchándose. En 2007, los Gym Class Heroes ampliaron la canción y le agregaron su toque propio a la letra.
The Gym Class Heroes have taken this nice song about no sex and say, take your clothes off. Let's all just have a good time.
Pero Jermaine y su We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off siguen siendo verdaderos originales.
I like to say thank you for that, you know, from me to you.
If you thought that ruled, this next stuff will rule even more. Here's a peek.
A continuación, la oda máxima a la noche del viernes.
Everybody relates to it. Everybody relates to it. Everybody that works.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to.
Además, un éxito de los 30 renovado para los 80. Enseguida, los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
Welcome back, 80s fans. It's time to honor a supporting character in our video at number 56. Because without a doubt, he's an unsung hero of One Hit Wonderland.
Héroes no reconocidos de One Hit Wonderlandia.
This hour, it's the jerk boyfriend from Till Tuesday's Voices Carry video. He's an unrivaled douchebag. A man who takes his role so seriously, he actually wears a wife beater. And for that jerk boyfriend, we honor you. Here he is, in Voices Carry.
Número 56, Till Tuesday, Voices Carry.
By the way, what's with the hair? Is that part of the new image?
En 1985, la banda de Boston Till Tuesday alcanzó el éxito con Voices Carry, una canción y un video que nos hizo conocer a la increíble Amy Mann.
Till Tuesday was Amy Mann to me. Her voice and that song.
She had this very elegant punk look to her.
Amy Mann was hot.
I love Voices Carry. It was really emotional.
During the video, Amy Mann's got this really mean boyfriend who wears a tank top and a gold chain and doesn't like her hair and doesn't like her band.
Why can't you for once do something for me?
Like what?
He wants me to dress up and be a sort of Barbie doll for him.
A rocker and a business person? I don't think so. Business people are...
Till Tuesday no volvió a tener ningún éxito y en 1988 Amy comenzó su carrera solista. Fue la querida de la escena independiente, pero logró una nominación al Oscar cuando P.T. Anderson usó su música para su película de 2000, Magnolia. Hoy está casada con el compositor Michael Penn y conserva intacta su reputación con su nueva música y sus giras.
Amy Mann has gone on to so much acclaim, but for some of us, Voices Carry will always be her true shot.
Número 55, Johnny Kemp, Just Got Paid. En 1988, Johnny Kemp, un neoyorquino nacido en las Bahamas, se unió al productor Teddy Riley para hacer esta oda al viernes por la noche con estilo New Jack Swing.
Yo, that was a huge song. Any song about getting paid is going to always be a hot song.
Just got paid.
It's Friday night. Let's go out, let's have some beers, and let's have a great time. Let's live life. And that's what that song always felt like to me. And he nailed it.
Everybody relates to it. Everybody relates to it. Everybody that works. Most people work, 9 to 5. I've been lucky enough to not have to do that.
Aunque Aunque nunca lanzó otro álbum, Johnny siguió componiendo canciones en los 90, pero su especialidad era cantar jingles desde crema batida hasta gaseosas. En 2000 ganó una fortuna cuando NSYNC grabó Just Got Paid para su álbum No Strings Attached.
When NSYNC recorded Just Got Paid, that's when I really got paid. You know what I'm saying? Subsequently, it changed my life.
Johnny tiene ahora 2 hijos y volvió a trabajar detrás del micrófono al grabar su primer álbum en 2 décadas.
I don't really know exactly what the rest of my life will be, but I know I do have a lot more artistic things that I would like to share.
Número 54, Chris de Burgh, Lady in Red.
Hello, this is Chris de Burgh.
Cuando en 1986 Chris de Burgh espiaba a su esposa desde el otro extremo de una sala atestada de gente, solo una cosa podía hacer: componer Lady in Red.
Never seen you looking so lovely as you did tonight. I've never seen you shine so bright.
One of my favorite songs of all time.
Lady in red.
Lady in red dancing with me.
That's just really does a lot for me. As a musician and as a human.
Si bien la canción alcanzó el 3er puesto, la carrera de Chris nunca despegó en los Estados Unidos, pero sí en otros países. Su último álbum con material nuevo se lanzó en 2006 y ese mismo año reveló sus especiales poderes de sanación a la BBC.
A guy I met one time, he'd hurt his leg badly, so I sort of started feeling, and I'd say within 20 minutes he was walking again. I mean, it wasn't a Lazarus job, but it took away the pain.
Dejando la sanación de lado, más de 20 años después, Lady in Red aún conserva su toque y Chris la considera su mejor obra.
Lady in Red was a huge hit in America and around the world, but repeating it is difficult. So I'm perfectly happy for every day to carry on as before and, you know, see what comes in every day.
Número 53, Taco, Putting on the Ritz. Taco Curse nació en Indonesia a mediados de los 50. En los 80 tomó la típica canción de Irving Berlin de los 30 y la convirtió en un éxito de los 80. Bien hecho, señor Taco. Buena jugada.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz.
Taco basically took an amazing Irving Berlin song, slipped it in 80s synthesizer quaalude, and then beat it to death with a stick.
If you like old Depression era songs, but you wish they were a little creepier, Taco was like perfect for you.
Super duper. Have you seen the well-to-do?
For him to take a 30s song and it actually worked, you got to give the guy credit. He's got some balls. I didn't even know they made music in the 30s.
For a wonderful time.
Taco también intervino canciones de Glenn Miller y George Gershwin, pero ninguna tuvo éxito en los Estados Unidos y Taco desapareció del ojo público. Sin embargo, su carrera continuó en Alemania, donde trabaja en el teatro musical.
It was a different kind of song for the time, and he got away with it.
Taco is like the ultimate version of a one-hit wonder. He had his hit, he did it, and then goes to Germany like everybody else does. I gotta get over to Germany, man.
Their fame lasted 15 minutes, but their songs lasted decades. Think about that while we take a quick break.
A continuación, tantas Mary Jane Girls y tan poco tiempo.
They were all super provocative and super sexy.
Además, no se den vuelta, ya llegó Der Kommissar.
Is that like the German way of saying, hey, here come Popo?
Enseguida, en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
You know what? We're almost halfway through the 100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. Here's a related fact. I have the world's largest collection of stonewashed jean shorts. I just thought you should know that.
Número 52, Mary Jane Girls, In My House. Eran 4 chicas sensuales reunidas por Rick James de Super Freak. En 1985, las Mary Jane Girls lanzaron la moderna y sensual In My House.
Mary Jane Girls. Even though the band's named after a drug, I'm not going to say which one. I love the girls.
They were all super provocative and super sexy.
You got great harmonies, because these broads can actually sing.
The Mary Jane Girls were like the first Pussycat Dolls.
Each girl brought a different flavor to the group. I was supposed to be a streetwise, tough urban girl. Candy was supposed to be the sophisticated, glamorous one. Maxie was the white girl. And Corvette was supposed to be a valley girl. It was supposed to be every man's fantasy.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about.
Alentadas por el éxito de la canción, las chicas se apresuraron a grabar un nuevo álbum, pero debido a algunos problemas de Rick James, el álbum quedó archivado y en 1987 ya se habían separado.
It started to really come apart. I was not speaking to anyone. Nobody was speaking to me. Rick's drug use escalated. It just got ugly. So I took a step back.
Chicas a veces hacen presentaciones juntas, pero están más concentradas en la maternidad y en otros proyectos. Salvo Jojo McDuffie, que tiene una carrera solista y todavía emociona con In My House.
I'm in the car, I'm driving. And I'm like, they still playing it. I still think it's a great, great song.
Número 51, After the Fire, Der Kommissar. En 1983, la banda británica After the Fire tomó una canción alemana cantada por el austríaco Falco, la versionó en inglés y alcanzó el éxito en los Estados Unidos. Con ustedes, Der Kommissar.
I had no idea what these guys were saying, but it sounded cool.
From what I understand, they're not supposed to turn around because Der Kommissar's in town.
Why is this sneaking up on me? Is that like the German way of saying, hey, here come Popo?
I always thought the song's name was Der Kommissar, but apparently that's the band's name. No? I still don't know what it is. When you don't know the name of the band or the name of the song and you still think it's cool, that's when you know it's a good song.
Las brasas de After the Fire se apagaron pocos meses después. El tecladista Peter Banks se dedicó a la informática y el cantante Andy Piercy volvió a producir música cristiana. Pero más de 20 años después, la banda volvió a tocar en el concierto de reunión de 2004. Y desde entonces no volvieron a separarse, pero aún no lograron alcanzar un segundo éxito.
I can't tell you another song that After the Fire did. They're probably waiting for the next foreign language song to come out and take it and make up lyrics for that.
Número 50, Nana Cherry. La atrevida británica nacida en Suecia, Nene Cherry, comenzó como cantante punk, pero alcanzó el tercer puesto en 1989 con su hip hop Buffalo Stance.
Nina Cherry was a hottie. She was fly. I was like, who is this girl? Nina Cherry was the first person who convinced me that it was cool black people in England.
Se suponía que Nene sería una gran estrella, pero solamente lanzó un álbum más en los Estados Unidos antes de replegarse en los 90 para criar a su familia. En 2007 se dedicó a divertirse con su mejor amiga en su programa de cocina por la BBC.
Little bit of salt to bring the flavor.
Oh, stop.
It's true though.
En la actualidad, esta abuela de 40 años trabaja como DJ en todo el mundo y hace giras con Circus, la banda de soul electrónico que formó con su esposa en 2005. Y Buffalo Stance sigue siendo una buena canción en todo sentido.
Buffalo Stance still holds up. It comes on and you want to dance. I'm still obsessed with it.
Looking good, hanging with a wild bunch. Looking good in a Buffalo Stance.
Número 49, Philip Bailey con Phil Collins, Easy Lover. Ya era muy famoso en el mundo del rhythm and blues por su banda Earth, Wind and Fire, pero en 1984 Philip Bailey lanzó el éxito solista Easy Lover con la ayuda de Phil Collins e hizo arder las listas.
Easy Lover is either about a girl who's easy to fall in love with or a slut. Either way, it's a great song.
Yeah, that song was hot.
De esta colaboración, Phil C siguió tocando solo y con Genesis, y Phil B se dedicó a la música gospel, al jazz y a su banda. Y si bien no logró otro éxito como solista, Easy Lover sigue siendo uno de sus mejores recuerdos. Número 48, Yellow, oh yeah. El dúo suizo Yellow, compuesto por el artista conceptual Dieter Meyer y por el genio de la electrónica Boris Blanc, lanzó Oh Yeah en 1985.
First time you heard it, you never forgot that song.
And you're just like, what is this?
The lyrics are,
the moon is beautiful.
I had no idea there were other lyrics at all.
La canción por fin se hizo famosa en 1986 luego de aparecer en la película llamada Un experto en diversión.
Whenever you hear that song, it's the Ferris Bueller song.
Lamentablemente, Yellow nunca volvió a tener otro éxito. En la actualidad, este alocado dúo continúa haciendo música en Zurich, donde Boris vive con su familia y Dieter trabaja en su arte y administra su restaurante. Mientras tanto, Oh Yeah se escucha constantemente en comerciales, películas y televisión. Incluso es la canción de Duffman, el adorado promotor de cervezas de Los Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
There's a metric buttload of 80s one-hit wonders coming up, so stick around.
A continuación, The Georgia Satellites triunfan.
You're just like, yeah, I'm about to get rocked.
¿Y por qué los de Pretty Poison quedaron sorprendidos?
We never expected this song to be as big as it was.
Enseguida, los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
We're back, and we continue the countdown with another one of Judah's one-hit hotties.
El hit caliente de Judah.
This hour, it's Jade Starling, singer for Pretty Poison. Red-headed and short-skirted, Jade looked like a hot human cupcake. She and her bustier shimmied their way directly into my 17-year-old subconscious, and I've had a thing for fringe jackets ever since. So here's to you, Jade Starling. Your hotness made my decade.
Número 47, Pretty Poison, Catch Me I'm Falling. Pretty Poison eran dos amigos de la preparatoria de Nueva Jersey, Jay Starling y Way Cooler. Ellos hicieron la melodía dance más pegadiza de 1987.
Catch Me I'm Falling, it's like a really perfect, happy pop 80s tune.
The song was catchy. You could get down on the dance floor to that song.
The girl Jade, and it was so hot that I watched the video or whatever, listened to it every time. She looked like a hot 80s chick that you'd meet down the Jersey Shore and, you know, buy her a couple wine coolers.
The song became a big hit here in Philly first, and I had a little label at the time, and I put it out here, and we sold like 25,000 copies right away. So it was top 10, and we were on every TV show you could think of.
We never expected this song to be as big as it was.
La banda no obtuvo otro hit y en los 90 J.D. Wade dejaron de lado a Pretty Poison y dieron un giro de 180 grados.
Started a new group called Sex and Violets. It was so like opposite. It was more like Soundgarden than Pretty Poison.
El nuevo estilo grunge no funcionó y regresaron a Pretty Poison.
Around 1997, we got a call to do a gay pride tour, which meant going back to doing dance music. So I ended up doing gay pride tours probably through the remainder of the 90s.
Hoy, cuando no producen a nuevos artistas, J.D. Wade trabajan con el percusionista Kaya en nuevas canciones para Pretty Poison. Por supuesto que Catch Me I'm Falling no quedó en el camino.
The hit actually is bigger than the group ever was.
This song just touched a lot of people's hearts, and we're really very blessed that it's done so well for us over the years, and it keeps doing well.
Número 46, Georgia Satellites, Keep Your Hands to Yourself.
You hear that opening guitar riff, and you're just like, yeah, I'm about to get rocked.
I got a little change in my pocket going jingle-lang-a-lang.
1986 fue el año de las bandas con sintetizadores, pero 4 muchachos de Atlanta demostraron que el rock sureño estaba bien vivo. ¿Y cómo lo lograron? Con Keep Your Hands to Yourself.
My honey, my baby, don't put my love upon no shelf. She said, don't give me no lines and keep your hands to yourself.
Georgia Satellites are a kick-ass rock band. That's just a great song.
Georgia Satellite was kind of a cool thing to hear in the 80s because there was a lot of techno, there was a lot of bands from the UK, and they were just like, we're country.
Georgia Satellites continually reinforcing the stereotypes that we all ride around on hay bales, on flatbed trucks on our way to hump our cousins. Thanks, Georgia Satellites.
My honey, my baby, don't put my love upon no shelf. She said, don't give me no lines and keep your hands to yourself.
Aunque se esforzaron, los Satellites no volvieron a tener un hit y el cantante Dan Bear se fue en 1990 para comenzar su carrera solista. Lanzó varios álbumes con Dan Bear and Homemade Scene. Unos años más tarde, Rick Richards y Rick Price renovaron a The Satellites y volvieron a intentarlo.
People were just interested in the Satellites and asked if we would want to do it.
And fortunately, in our case, there still seems to be people who appreciate not only what we did then, but what we do now.
I got a little change in my pocket.
En la actualidad, la banda sigue adelante y está muy orgullosa de su único éxito.
Well, I can totally understand the term one-hit wonder being derogatory. But on the other hand, it's kind of an honor.
I think the optimum word is wonder. Never ceases to amaze me.
Número 45, Robbie Neville, C'est la vie. Con un magnífico cabello, una magnífica voz y una expresión francesa eterna, el compositor Robbie Neville se hizo famoso en 1986 con C'est la vie.
Worked with everybody from Destiny's Child to Jessica Simpson to Aaron Neville, no relation. And on top of that, he's like the king of Disney hits. You know, he's written for the Cheetah Girls, High School Musical, and Hannah Montana. You know how much money he's taken?
Número 44, Wall Voodoo, Mexican Radio. Si se buscaba singularidad en la música de los 80, había que escuchar Wall Voodoo. Y lo más singular fue su homenaje de 1983 a las radios fronterizas de los Estados Unidos, Mexican Radio.
This was one of the great 80s novelty songs. You didn't really know what it was about. It was just this weird video and weird song.
Stan Ridgway's singing was very nasal, kind of cinematic. Mexican radio. He sounded like a really nerdy cowboy.
I wish I was in Tijuana eating barbecued iguana. That is poetry. Take that, Jewel.
The video was really strange.
What a surreal moment where his face comes through the baked beans.
Pero todo se volvió demasiado surrealista para Stan, que abandonó la banda ese mismo año. Con bajo perfil, pero igualmente ecléctico, aún continúa su carrera solista.
He went on to making music for movies, and he had that fantastic song from the Rumblefish soundtrack, Don't Box Me In. He deserves a lot of credit for not trying to imitate his top 10 hit. I think he just realized that this was a hit that just kind of happened accidentally, and he just went back to making his own kind of music.
"44 one-hit wonders down, 56 to go." Man, I love counting things down. It's what I do.
A continuación, un artista que está un poco harto de la melodía que lo hizo famoso.
I've been sick of it at different times, and yet I'll do the song now and then.
Enseguida, los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80. Los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
I'm just bringing a little 80s joy into your world. That's all. Here's your next one-hit wonder.
Número 43, Shannon, Let the Music Play. En 1983, la diva del dance Shannon emergió de las humildes calles de Brooklyn y acaparó la atención pública con su bailable éxito mundial.
It is one of the greatest songs in the history of popular music. It was a major deal.
They used to call it the Shannon sound. It totally changed music, created another genre. They started calling it freestyle.
Si bien Shannon tuvo otro pequeño éxito en 1985 con Give Me Tonight, fue muy difícil superar el primero.
It was just like Shannon, Shannon, diva, Shannon, you know. And then to try to come back, I couldn't come up with it. I didn't come up with another Let the Music Play.
He tried pretending a dance is just a dance, but I see.
Pasado el momento de mayor éxito, Shannon actuó en obras de Off-Broadway, pero en realidad nunca abandonó la música. Incluso hoy sigue a la búsqueda de su próxima canción masiva.
This next song is gonna go to the moon. It's gonna go through the roof.
Yeah, yo, that's good. Perfect.
A los 50 años, Shannon pasa sus días grabando, viviendo en Houston y haciendo presentaciones en el circuito de la nostalgia cantando su clásico.
I tear the roof off the place. I do turns, I do backdrops, you know, kicks, whatever. They even do some push-ups on stage. That's like, let me see if you could do this after 25 years.
Número 42, Timbuk3, The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades. En los 80, un dúo de esposo y esposa de Texas trabajó en colaboración con un grabador y nació Timbuk3. Su primer sencillo, The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades.
It was funny to hear this little quirky little alternative country pop song become this massive hit.
It was like nerd indie rock.
getting good grades, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades.
The message that got misread is that people are like, oh, the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. It was just the opposite.
It was an ironic song that sounded very positive and upbeat, but was actually about nuclear destruction.
Si bien nunca lograron otro hit, la banda tuvo muchos admiradores entre universitarios y fanáticos de la música alternativa, pero todo terminó en 1995. El matrimonio tuvo un abrupto final.
At one point, we just realized we kind of didn't like each other much.
I spent the next 5 years raising a teenage son. Woohoo! All through that time, I played guitar and wrote songs and kept a low profile here in Austin, Texas.
Bárbara sigue viviendo en Texas y compone canciones con su banda Ghost and Sparrows. También es activista política y abrió un negocio de camisetas llamado Painted Quiver. También siguió haciendo música, primero en España y ahora en Wisconsin, donde lanza álbumes y se presenta en pubs.
I'll do the song now and then, and yet I've been sick of it at different times.
The label One Hit Wonder, maybe one's better than none.
The two-hit wonders are the ones that I feel sorry for. They don't have specials devoted to those people.
So bright. Everybody.
Número 41, Billy Vera, At This Moment.
What did you think?
Billy Vera, de 43 años, había estado en el mundo de la música por más de 2 décadas cuando logró su primer éxito, la inigualable At This Moment de 1987.
Tears in your eyes.
I think At This Moment by Billy Vera is my #1 song of the 80s. It's like every girl's dream this song is. Oh, fantastic.
You just don't love me.
Billy Vera sings the song like he's just had his heart ripped out, thrown on the floor, and then set on fire.
What did you think I would say at this moment?
Al igual que Billy, At This Moment no fue un éxito de la noche a la mañana. 6 años después de haberla compuesto, un productor de lazos familiares la escuchó y la utilizó en el programa.
One day, the phone rang, and this guy said, I produce a show called Family Ties. And he said, we were at the club the other night, and we heard you doing this song, and we'd like to use it on the show.
Ellen. Alex, please let me go.
Ellen, I'm sorry. I slipped.
America went nuts.
Ellen.
And without promotion, without payola, the song just zoomed up the charts to #1.
Billy no tuvo más éxitos después, pero no le fue nada mal. Además de cantar las canciones de los programas Emptiness y King of Queens, comenzó a trabajar como historiador de música e incluso probó la actuación. Lo mejor de todo fue que sus excelentes melodías siguieron pagando las deudas. Hoy Billy trabaja como doblajista.
Some guys like an overstuffed. Now, last 10, 15 years has been my biggest source of income.
I could just
Y ahora, 20 años después de su gran canción y 45 años de carrera, Billy continúa dando a sus admiradores lo que ellos quieren.
They recently had a Billy Vera homecoming in Stamford, Connecticut. And people were just coming up and, oh, your song meant so much to my life. It gives me a rush, to see happy people out there and entertain them.
Thank you so much.
That's all for now, folks. But hang in there. The top 40 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s are still to come. And they are going to change your life.
I got a little change in my pocket. Oh, gee, good thing. Calling on the telephone, baby. Give me a ring. I said, stop the call. Same old thing. I said, no hug, no kissing. Till I get a wedding ring. Well, there's a honey round, baby. Don't put your love up on the shelf. I said, make those lines and keep your hands to yourself.
They blinded us with science. They gave us Pac-Man fever. They just died in our arms tonight, which admittedly was a little weird. We're counting down your choices for 100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. I'm your host, the world champion Judah Friedlander. I'm taking a break from my athletic career. Now let's not waste any more time. Here's number 40.
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.
At midnight on August 1st, 1981, the Buggles ushered in a new era when the clip for their prophetic hit, Video Killed the Radio Star, was the first ever aired on MTV. And the rest, well, you know.
I heard you on the wireless back in 52.
What a perfect video to play. Video Killed the Radio Star.
This was originally released in the UK in 1979, but nobody listened to it until it became the first song ever played on MTV in 1981.
I love this song. I think it's really, really cool. Well done.
It captured a moment where there was a huge shift in the way that we were going to be consuming music. I mean, that's quite an amazing feat to have accomplished.
Despite a string of well-received singles in their native UK, the Buggles had moved on by the time Video Killed the Radio Star hit MTV. Keyboardist Jeff Downes formed supergroup Asia, with whom he still tours. Lead singer Trevor Horn became a sought-after producer, working with acts like Seal, Tina Turner, and Paul McCartney.
In 2004, the Buggles reunited at a charity concert for a one-night-only performance of their magically dorky masterpiece.
They were never entitled to have anything more than to be known for having the first video. Like, that's enough.
He started as a folk singer, but New York's own Matthew Wilder didn't have a hit until he ditched the hippie sound and released 1983's feel-good ditty, Break My Stride.
Last night I had the strangest dream.
This is one of the most cheesegasmic songs. Only in the 80s could this have happened.
And you said you had to get your laundry clean.
It was like a pick-me-up. When you were feeling down, you play that song.
What does that mean? And you said, ain't nothing gonna break my stride. I'm running in a war-touched ground.
He had an awesome afro, an awesome mustache.
Matthew Wilder does look like a combo between John Oates and Richard Simmons. He's a jazzy man with a mustache.
The reason why you're running so fast, and she said,
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
While Break My Stride was Wilder's only solo smash, he used his powers for the good of other musicians, producing hits for Christina Aguilera, Miley Cyrus, and No Doubt.
I had a recording career at one point, and I had to reinvent myself to be able to do the one thing that I really love to do in life, and that's music.
This song will live forever because that is a timeless principle. Nobody wants their stride broken up.
As David Addison on Moonlighting, Bruce Willis ruled TV in 1987. Then as alter ego Bruno, he covered the staple singers' Respect Yourself and kind of almost ruled radio, too.
Bruce Willis, he was a part of that contingent in the 80s that said, I'm an actor, but what you don't know is that I'm a singer too.
We give you a pass if your stuff is good. See, Moonlighting was a hit. So you go, hey, it's Bruce Willis, you know? What the hell?
He does play the harmonica on this record, but I would point out that harmonica is one of the easiest instruments to play. You have to blow in or suck out. Really, anyone can do that. Even Bruce Willis can suck.
We love him as a rock star.
In the general world of music, I shun fame. I shun that kind of respect.
I'm sort of like, dude, respect yourself and just stick to acting.
With June Pointer of the Pointer Sisters fame helping out on vocals, the song hit number 5, surpassing the Staple Singers' original version. Bruce got on with the business of being a megastar and having a family with his now ex-wife, Demi Moore, but he still finds time to grab a mic, like in 2003 when he traveled to Iraq with the USO.
I don't care what he does. He's the only guy that could lose his hair in front of us for 20 years and get sexier. Seriously, that's an accomplishment.
Sometimes you gotta move on to a song that's right for you, like 1980's Funky Town by Minneapolis beatmasters Lip Sync.
Talk about catchy. It just doesn't get out of your head.
And that is as beautiful and pure as a melody can be.
It's got that little synth beeping.
They create an entire feel about this place, Funky Town, that everybody wants to go.
Funky Town. In my mind, that was New York. I've been to New York many times, and I loved it. It was a really fun place.
Lip Sync never surpassed Funky Town and closed up shop in 1983. Nowadays, singer Cynthia Johnson belts it out with Minneapolis gospel group The Sounds of Blackness. Meanwhile, producer Steven Greenberg launched a web design biz and directed a documentary about up-and-coming musicians called Funky Town, the Movie.
As far as I'm concerned, it was just another song I wrote. I didn't really know it was going to become a classic. I feel blessed, and I'm proud to be part of it, and I also feel very lucky, too.
Oh, you're just back from Funky Town. How was it? Did you have a nice trip? How was the food? Here's where you're going next.
Coming up, get your umbrellas, ladies. It's about that time.
It's raining, man. I'm going to harden my heart.
And Quarter Flash sings one for the brokenhearted.
100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. Let's get back to the awesomeness, shall we?
Hi, we're your weather girl. And have we got news for you?
In the 70s, they were known as 2 Tons of Fun, but in the 80s, Martha Wash and Izora Armstead transformed into the Weather Girls and scored the supersized dance club smash, It's Raining Men.
It's rising. I'm just getting low.
It's a great dance song because it's completely like bringing that disco element in and then mixing it with the 80s, and then them broads can sing.
It's raining men. Hallelujah, it's raining men. Amen.
Paul Schaefer from the David Letterman show actually co-wrote It's Raining Men. Go figure.
He begged us. He said, please, please, please record this song for us. Barbra Streisand had turned it down. Diana Ross had turned it down.
The duo split in the late 80s, and Martha went on to sing lead on some other mega dance tracks like CNC Music Factory's Gonna Make You Sweat. But when Martha was replaced in those videos with models who were only pounds of fun, she sued for credit and won.
It didn't matter what she looked like. I didn't care. It was on.
Izora moved to Germany and carried on as the Weather Girls with her daughter Dinelle, but sadly in 2004 she died of heart failure, leaving Dinelle and her other daughter Ingrid to keep the Weather Girls alive. Nowadays, Martha's still making club hits and often performs at gay pride events and AIDS benefits, and it still rains men at pretty much every show.
The Raining Men has become a cult classic. It would never die. Absolutely never die.
In 1982, Chris Frantz and Tina Weymouth were on a break from their day jobs with the Talking Heads, so the married couple started a side project, the Tom Tom Club, and they released an insanely catchy dance classic called Genius of Love.
That was, Genius of Love. That's just genius.
God, this is the best song. This song is the sort of song, like, I have no idea what it's about, but every time I hear it, I love it, and I'm so psyched.
The Tom Tom Club was a surprise and a success because we were already writing all this stuff for Talking Heads. We didn't want to compete with that. So we said, let's do something entirely different, and we'll be really anonymous about it.
That was Tom Tom Club's one and only hit, but it became one of the most sampled songs ever.
everybody sample that song. Cameron, Grandmaster Flash, Tupac, Mariah, they all sample Tom Tom song. All of them. James Brown.
The Talking Heads ended things in '91, but Chris and Tina kept Tom Tom Club going. Today, they live in Connecticut with their 2 kids, take the stage on occasion, and think back fondly on their funky 80s jam.
To us, it was a very pleasant surprise. I think some people thought, wow, Chris and Tina got a hit. And ever since then, we've been trying to, like, get another gold record.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I know what boys like. When Ohio's Chris Butler and Patty Donahue moved to New York in the late 70s, the Waitresses were born. And a few years later, one of the cheekiest new wave joints ever was, too. I Know What Boys Like. I know what guys want.
The Waitresses were just the epitome of cool. It was like a tough girl sort of new wave song.
I remember being like, wow, you can't be that snotty. You have to be nicer, don't you?
Patty Donahue had a great voice. It was sassy.
I kind of liked the visual of the video. Yeah, Patty was pretty sexy, you know. I definitely dedicated a few to her.
Though the Waitresses came out with lots more music, like holiday classic Christmas rapping, they never charted again, and by 1983, the band was done. Patty laid low afterwards, working for MCA as an A&R rep until her tragic 1996 death of lung cancer. She was just 40.
Patty Donahue was a really good person, and I miss her. I think we had our differences of opinion, but she was a real good soul.
Meanwhile, Chris kept with music, both as a performer and writer. Now in his late 50s, he resides in New Jersey, where he runs his own label, Future Fossil Records.
After Waitresses broke up, I should have taken the hint. I didn't. I continued to write, keep putting out my own CDs against all common sense. It's still fun for me. I don't see any reason to stop.
I feel sad now. As for the Waitresses, they're gone, but certainly not forgotten.
I'm criminally overlooked as a significant artist of the 80s. And I know what boys like. Let's see. It's naughty, it's cheeky, it's funny. It just captured something about the times. It's fun.
John Wade had a taste of success in the 70s, fronting the Babies, but nothing like what happened in 1984 when he released the mother of all breakup tunes, Missing You.
Every time I think of you, I always catch my breath.
John Wade and Missing You is just a fantastic song.
I love that song. I ain't missing you at all. Sing it, John.
And there's a heart that's breaking.
It's a sweet song. It's a vulnerable song.
Distance line tonight. I ain't missing you at all.
The song's a riddle. It's like the Sphinx. The whole song he's saying, I'm not missing you, I'm not missing you. Then at the end he says, real quiet, in the background, I can lie to myself. So he is missing her. That's the thing.
In 1989, John left his solo career behind and scored a #1 hit as lead singer of Bad English, a supergroup he formed with members of Journey and the Babies.
He's really great at having one big hit with every band that he's in.
Bad English broke up by '91, so John went solo again, and it wasn't until 2006 when he re-recorded Missing You with country star Alison Krauss that he dented the charts again. Today, John continues to live large off the hit that made him famous.
He still tours with bands like Journey, is still connected in that scene. He's got enough of a back catalog to keep on going, keep playing the hits for the audiences who miss him.
Don't move. There's more where that came from. Here's proof.
Coming up, a big hit about an old building.
Finally, a song that just says, here's to you, house. Don't worry, be happy.
Plus, the song even Bobby McFerrin got sick of.
This next song is I'm Gonna Harden My Heart. In junior high, we changed it to You Left a Part in My Farts. I still can't get that out of my head, and frankly, I don't want to.
A new new wave rock ballad chock full of sweet, sweet saxophone, Harden My Heart took Portland's Quarter Flash to number 3 in 1981.
I'm a huge Quarter Flash fan, okay? It's sort of that Pat Benatar-ish type of genre, just good singing.
Randy Ross, he could really hit those high notes. He would sing them in this whimpering, sobbing sort of voice.
I was taken with her voice. It sounded hurt to me.
Very emotional performance.
I like the song. It's like a pale ale. Smooth, but very bitter.
There's been so many women that have told me this was my divorce song or this helped me get through this breakup.
High school sweethearts Marv and Randy Ross led Quarter Flash until 1985 when the band was dropped by its label, but the fans never forgot them.
We are still recognized, especially in the Northwest. I remember one time sitting naked in a hot tub at a health club, and this woman got in and she said, "You look like Randy Ross in Quarter Flash." I never owned up. I just thought, I am not going to sit here naked and say who I am.
Aside from hot tubbing, Randy earned a master's degree and started working as a mental health counselor. Plus, she kept making music with Marv.
There's this wonderful band called the Trail Band, which was started to recreate music that was popular in the 1800s. And then the other project was I did a full-blown Broadway-style musical with Native American music.
As for Quarter Flash, the Rosses are still plugging away. They put out the Goodbye Uncle Buzz album in 2008 and bust out Harden My Heart whenever they get the chance.
Harden my heart. I still like to play it, and even really young people who might not have heard of Quarter Flash, and you play that song and they go, "Oh, that song."
Don't Worry, Be Happy wasn't just a #1 jam. Vocal innovator Bobby McFerrin's 1988 hit struck a friendly blow for optimism everywhere.
Here's a little song I wrote.
Oh, Bobby McFerrin, Don't Worry, Be Happy. You couldn't escape that song.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Pop station, black station, country station, played constantly.
Bobby McFerrin is rad. I'll tell you why, because he's his own dad. His voice is his instrument.
Don't worry.
At first, I liked the song, but then after everybody was singing it, was like, oh my Lord, Jesus. I still want to punch Bobby McFerrin in the...
Be happy.
All the things he was telling you to be happy about were kind of the worst things that could ever happen to you. Landlord says your rent is late. You might want to litigate. Don't worry. No, I'm worried. Do you understand, Bobby? I'm getting evicted.
Be happy.
Look at me, I'm happy.
Bobby made lots more music throughout the 90s, exploring new styles and trying not to be known as the Don't Worry, Be Happy guy.
I got to the point where I couldn't sing it anymore, and I haven't in about 10 or 11 years.
Today, Bobby remains busy. He's been touring the globe as a solo performer and symphony conductor.
Don't worry, don't do it.
This guy is legit. And to much of the world, he will probably always only be remembered as the guy who did Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Don't worry, be happy.
With the release of 1980's Turning Japanese, Brit New Waivers the Vapors conquered the radio and confused the hell out of everybody.
I wasn't sure what turning Japanese really meant.
I thought it was just about becoming Japanese, which I was like, I thought once you were born, that race was over.
I always imagined the singer was talking about going like that, basically. And I'm not proud of that. I don't feel good about it. I have, of course, nothing but goodwill towards all Asians.
Though various theories surfaced about the song's meaning, one seemed to beat out the rest.
People said it was about masturbation. Well, it was a rumor, I guess.
It refers to the face a man makes when he's giving up the goods.
The first time the idea of masturbation came up is when we were touring America, and from that point on we did alternate interviews, particularly in America, saying, yes, it was about masturbation. No, it's not.
Whether it was or not, I loved it when it came out. I thought it was a great song.
After the vapors sputtered out in 1981, singer Dave Fenton became a lawyer while guitarist Ed Bazalgette turned to a career in TV. But they still look back fondly on their alleged ode to self-pleasure.
I think it's fantastic that people thought it was a song about masturbation because it kept the whole memory, our sort of little 10 minutes in the spotlight going for 23 years. And I'd like to meet the person that came up with the idea in the first place and shake him by the hand.
Two-tone ska band Madness started out as a strictly British sensation until 1983, that is, when they broke worldwide with Our House.
I'm a giant Madness fan. The song was a perfect piece of top 40 pop music. Lyrically, musically, it's a great song.
People write love songs about girls and friends, and that stuff comes and goes. Finally, a song that just says, here's to you, house.
Madness was always really fun. You know, they just tell a little story, and they kind of act out, and they're all kind of goofy.
Despite the ubiquity of Our House in the U.S., Madness never managed to recreate the magic. Over here, anyway. In Europe, they just got bigger and bigger.
Anywhere else in the world, describing Madness as one-hit wonders would be ludicrous, because Madness were one of the top British singles acts of the 80s. They had hit after hit after hit.
We had 23 or 4 top 20 hits, laid end to end. They'd reach as far as that building over there.
Nowadays, frontman Graham Suggs McPherson hosts a variety of TV shows in the UK.
There used to be thousands of these fabulous red phone boxes all over London.
That's in between Madness gigs, by the way. Yep, after 3 decades and a slew of albums, the Our House boys are still going strong. They even wrote a musical for London's West End in 2002. The title? Our House, of course.
They're still together. Suggs is still one of the most famous people in Great Britain.
Cheers.
God bless you, Great Britain. Once you love Suggs, you never let him go.
With a little help from a classic Brat Pack flick, mulleted Brit John Parr topped the charts in 1985 with St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion.
I love the song from St. Elmo's Fire. John Parr is one of the best.
Wow. His mullet was so perfect, it almost looked like a mullet that you would buy in a Halloween store.
Fucking eagles flying through blazing skies! Man, that's awesome!
Initially, Man in Motion was written by Parr and David Foster to honor paraplegic athlete Rick Hansen. Thanks to St. Elmo's, it became an inspiration to millions.
This song inspires me. And then when you listen to the lyrics, you're like, oh yeah, this really does sound like it's about a guy in a wheelchair.
Parr pretty much disappeared from the charts after that, but he became the go-to guy for movie theme songs.
He wrote for The Running Man, Quicksilver, 3 Men and a Baby, among several others.
As for the mullet, it survived the 80s, the 90s, and so far the new millennium. And he happily sports it on tour with 80s favorites like Bryan Adams and Journey.
John Parr had his one shining diamond-like moment of perfection, and that was all he got. But you know what? That was more than enough.
We gotta go sell some stuff, but there's more one-hit wonderage ahead, so keep it here.
Coming up, the unstoppable Stacey.
Hey there, we're up to number 27. Another lovely 80s lady who helped me make it to the 90s. She is undoubtedly one of Judah's one-hit hotties. Stacey Q. Frankly, I'm all man, so it was hard for me to get past the bubblegum pop song and get to the hotness. But I did it, and there was no turning back. So here's to you, Stacey Q. Your hotness is still standing strong.
A performer since childhood, Cali Pop-Tart Stacey Q released 2 of Hearts in 1986. Bouncy, light, and sweet. It was kind of like cotton candy for your ears.
2 Hearts is a great song. It sounded like a doll singing.
got that 8th grade level of romance that we all love to reconnect to, no matter how old we get.
It was corny, but it definitely got stuck in your head.
So catchy. People always talk to you like, yes, they do.
Two of Hearts cracked the top 3 and landed Stacey a guest spot on The Facts of Life, where in a huge stretch, she played a singer named Cinnamon.
Does Cinnamon have 1 in or 2?
That experience was fun. Facts of Life was great. It was nice meeting all the girls.
You know that's true.
Stacey turned out a few more albums in the 80s and 90s, but tried other things too, like her no-sex role in 1998's Playing the Odds, an X-rated flick made by a friend.
Thinking about I put on this plastic dress and I did my thing. I've never seen the film. I know nothing about gay porn.
There's also her journey through Tibet, where she discovered Buddhism. And though she's been absent from the charts for a while, 50-something Stacey is keeping the dream alive.
I'm just finishing up a new record, and I'm having a great time touring. I guess maybe I'll keep performing until my legs fall off. I gotta eat, so I guess I'll just keep it up.
Armed with bedroom eyes, junk-hugging jeans, and a sweet synth riff, Cutting Crew got pop fans all hot and bothered with their 1987 #1 debut, I Just Died in Your...
I Just Died in Your Arm was their one and only hit. It was huge.
Great song. I just died as fun. Just a great hook.
You didn't actually die in her arms.
Like, I always just thought maybe he had a heart attack or something like that, but then I read in the lyrics, and he actually wrote it after he had sex with his girlfriend.
It's about, you know that? It's about...
Well, the tune picked up a Grammy nom. Cutting Crew's next 2 albums flopped, leading to a 1993 breakup. They reunited randomly over the years until guitarist Kevin McMichael succumbed to cancer in 2003. Now a new Crew lineup led by frontman Nick Van Eed is keeping the Died in Your Arms legacy alive.
It doesn't get old, and it doesn't. It's still a great song.
That is the song that I'll be buying today on my iTunes.
Rules the nation.
In 1982, 5 kids from the UK remade a risque reggae tune that soon had the world passing the Dutchie, whatever that was, to the left-hand side.
Love this song. Love this song the first time I heard it.
Yeah, this song's it's a cute one. It's all like little kids.
That's a record that makes you want to smile.
The tune was actually a cover of an old Mighty Diamonds song called Pass the Coochie, which had a slightly different meaning.
Pass the Dutchie, the original version was Pass the Coochie, which was all about smoking weed.
I can see where the confusion comes from. Is pass the coochie, which is about passing the coochie pipe. But we were 11 and 15. Can you imagine the uproar that would go on? We'd come out, start singing about smoking a bong, and it was quite obvious that we had to change the lyric.
Pass the Dutchie was a worldwide #1 smash and made the boys instant stars, but another hit proved elusive and they broke up in 1985. Singer Dennis Seaton recorded a solo album soon after and was on the verge of reuniting musical youth in 1993 when tragedy struck. 24-year-old bassist Patrick White died of heart failure.
I had a conversation with him. I said, look, you know, if you want to play music, we'll get back together and do that, and blah, blah, blah. And he says, yes. That was the last conversation I had with him. And 10 days later, he was gone.
8 years later, in 2001, Dennis gave the group another go, teaming up with original member Michael Grant. It worked. They've been performing as musical youth ever since. And almost 30 years after their masterpiece, they're still happy to pass the Dutchie.
I've had a #1 hit, and no one can't take that away from me. So it's just a privilege to have had one, even if it's just the one.
Yeah.
Take it down, take it down, take it down.
In 1988, Neo hit hippies, Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians were rocking more like it was 1968 with their groovy hit, What I Am.
I'm not aware of too many things. I know what I know, if you know what I mean.
That's a brilliant performance. That's, you know, really a great moment in music.
Philosophy is to talk on cereal box.
It was like that rebellious, like, white chick thing.
I thought she was awesome. She was all like quirky poetry.
I love that Edie Brickell song, but the lyrics are definitely crazy.
Choke me in the shallow water before I get too deep.
You had to kind of stop and try to figure out what she was saying.
What I am is what I am, you what you are, oh what.
And even when you heard what she was saying, it still didn't completely make any sense.
Oh, what you are, I'm not aware of too many things.
Edie made one more album with the New Bohemians before setting off on a solo career, but never topped What I Am. In 1992, she married Paul Simon. They had 3 kids, and she took a hiatus from music to raise her family.
She did herself well. She married Paul Simon. Come on. I guess Art Garfunkel was taken.
Now she's in a band with stepson Harper Simon called the Heavy Circles. They released a self-titled album in 2008, but some fans are still stuck on What I Am.
I have it on my iPod. Edie Brickell is still a cool-ass chick with me. I think the world is still waiting for the next Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians hit.
We are getting into real primo one-hit wonder territory. Here's what's next.
Coming up.
It's an 80s love fest, and we finally remember the decade's greatest one-hit wonders. And if you can't get into it, frankly, I think you have some problems with intimacy.
With an island accent and a pile of glorious dreads, Guyana-born Brit Eddie Grant hit the streets hard in 1983 with Electric Avenue.
Awesome! Now in the street there is violence.
Eddie Grant has actually had his first hit single in the 60s with a band called the Equals. And then all of a sudden, he put out Electric Avenue, and man, it exploded. People just really connected with that song.
Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And then we'll take it higher.
That was the Electric Avenue. I used to love that.
Where the hell is Electric Avenue? Because I want to go. Seems like it's jumping off on Electric Avenue.
See, we're not going to walk down. We're going to rock down to
Electric Avenue. And then we'll take it higher.
90% of this song is him going, oh no!
Oh no!
I'd love to see him at home just being like, oh no! Oh no!
Oh no!
Thinking like 8 more.
Oh no, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue.
Eddie disappeared from American radio after Electric Avenue, but he's still living large in Barbados.
He's got a record company he's the CEO of called Ice Records, and he's kept himself busy over the years.
Oh no!
The 60-ish Eddie released his 14th album in 2006, and he still rocks down to Electric Avenue.
It holds up. The song's a great song. More power to you, my man.
He's Stevie Wonder's guitarist at just 17, but Michael Sembello didn't have a hit to call his own until the sweaty synthy #1 smash Maniac off 1983's epic Flashdance soundtrack.
She's a Steel Town girl on a Saturday night, looking for the fight of her life. Why is this woman so violent?
When Maniac comes on the radio, I turn it up and I dance no matter where I am. So I do that little running in place thing and my little tush.
You just start giving that run. You can't help but do that.
Though Maniac won a Grammy, another hit wasn't in the cards for Sembello, so he started producing but kept working on his own stuff, which mixed deep spirituality and world music in a variety of tongues.
So far, I've sung in about 6 different languages. It's a way for me to connect with the rest of the world. That and looking for extraterrestrial life.
Today, Michael's living it up in Florida and planning a new tour. Meanwhile, Maniacs danced its way into one-hit wonder history.
It never stops. It just keeps going and it keeps reoccurring, you know? I can't understand it to this day why people can get that excited about a song. She's a maniac, maniac on the floor.
Don't budge, people. The top song of the hour is next.
Coming up, Twisted Sister.
Okay, 80s fans, it's time for number 21 on our countdown, and we want to toast one of the video's supporting players, because truly, he is an unsung hero of one-hit wonderland. It's the kid in the Twisted Sister video. You know, the one with the total D-bag for a dad. He got to morph into Dee Snider and push his father out a window using the sheer power of rock. And that, my friends, is pretty rad. So, kid, for your contributions to music and teenage rebellion, we honor you.
Where do you come from? Are you listening to me? What do you want to do with your life?
I want to rock.
Glam rock veterans Twisted Sister had been playing New York clubs for years by 1984 when they shook the earth to its very core with 5 simple words.
We're Not Gonna Take It is one of the greatest rock songs of all time.
The inspiration for We're Not Gonna Take It had to be every an idiot moron I ever encountered in my life. Started with my father. My dad.
This is our life. This is our song. It's the ultimate kid rebellion song.
I'm getting riled up just thinking about it.
Unfortunately, Twisted Sister's later songs didn't inspire quite as much fist pumping, and the band broke up in 1988.
There's definitely a moment of realization that everything that I'd spent my life perfecting, the style of singing, the style of performing, nobody was interested in it anymore. And I really struggled with that for a long time.
Frontman Dee Snider went elsewhere for his attention, guest starring on some reality shows, directing a horror flick, and starting his own radio show.
Welcome to Fangoria Radio, everybody.
But 10 years after breaking up, the guys got back together, and in 2006, they recorded a holiday album called A Twisted Christmas, which they turned into a yearly onstage event.
Twisted Sister has had an interesting success with a Christmas album we did. I'm a big Christmas fan, you know? I mean, we get totally into it. It's just pretty friggin' funny.
I wish it could go on forever, but there's only one more hour of VH1's greatest one-hit. We'll reveal your pick for the 80s top one-hit wonders of the 80s.
En la era de los excesos hicieron historia con una sola canción. ¡Science! Los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80.
Damn, that's taking me back.
VH1 preguntó, ustedes votaron y ahora veremos la cuenta regresiva de las mejores sensaciones singulares de la década.
It's like the Citizen Kane of 80s pop music.
Wow, that was something special.
Prepárense para conocer a los responsables de los éxitos de los 80.
This song was awesome.
Y averigüen qué pasó con los fabulosos artistas que nos dejaron con ganas de más.
We are still recognized, especially in the Northwest.
Vean quiénes aún buscan su segundo éxito.
I don't lose sleep about getting another hit record, but hey, never say never.
Y quienes están orgullosos de haber tenido un solo éxito.
I'm Sugar Bear from EU, and I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder.
I'm a one-hit wonder. Admítanlo, sin ellos los 80 hubieran sido muy aburridos. Ahora por fin se les reconocerá su mérito.
I'd rather be a one-hit wonder than a no-hit wonder.
Los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80. Su anfitrión, Judah Freelander.
One-hit wonders totally rule, dude. Yeah!
Los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80.
Hey there, I'm Judah Friedlander, and we're approaching the summit. This hour, we'll reveal your pick for the 80s top one-hit wonder. In other words, we're not in heaven yet, but you can see it and maybe smell it from here. So let's get right into it with number 20.
Número 20. Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me. Con un contrato en el sello de su padre y la ayuda del desconocido amigo de la infancia Michael Jackson, Rockwell llegó al éxito en 1984 con Somebody's Watching Me.
But you thought, like, who is this guy? How did he get access to Michael Jackson? Why is this song so good? And you realize it's the son of Berry Gordy, Motown legend.
He didn't help me. He had nothing to do with it. It was my project, and I went all the way.
When you have Michael Jackson singing your backgrounds, come on, how can you lose?
No way. See, that's why it's memorable. Michael Jackson can do no wrong in the 80s, during the time when he was black.
The best part is when Rockwell starts adopting this semi-British accent.
When I'm in the shower, I'm afraid to wash my hair. Because I might open my eyes and find someone standing there.
Rockwell grabó otro álbum, pero pronto lo echaron de Motown y nunca más volvió a grabar.
The irony is no one's really looking for Rockwell right now, you know? He always thought someone was watching him. Apparently no one is.
Número 19. Dead or Alive, You Spin Me Round Like a Record. Antes del iPod, el CD y el cassette reinaba el vinilo y los andróginos británicos de Dead or Alive lo sabían. En 1985, Pete Burns y compañía lanzaron el vertiginoso hit You Spin Me Round Like a Record.
I love this song. You play it, it's like a ringtone to a call you want to take.
It's a hit because it brings you to life.
The fact that it's put across like an over 6 foot Liverpudlian transvestite with an eye patch, that's entertainment, isn't it?
You Spin Me fue el primer y último éxito de la banda en los Estados Unidos, pero Pete Burns siguió en el ojo público gracias a su recordada aparición en 2006 en el Gran Hermano de Famosos del Reino Unido.
Come and have a look at my vagina. You total
Y por supuesto por sus numerosas cirugías plásticas. Él dice que no quiere parecerse a una mujer, sino ser sincero consigo mismo.
There's just something really deeply rooted in the brain that you've come out wrong. I constantly wore this nylon polo neck sweater and used to pull the neck up over my face. So obviously there was something I wasn't happy with.
He had collagen inserted into his lips and they blew up enormously.
I started to develop lumps that were like hard peas.
His mouth started to leak pus and all this chemicals and stuff.
I pressed my cheek and it would go psst again. It would make this hissing sound. It was like the movie Aliens. It was squirting everywhere.
Sus problemas de salud no terminaron allí. En 2009 fue hospitalizado por insuficiencia renal.
He's a little bit of a train wreck, unfortunately. But this song, I think, captures him at his best, and that's how I'd like to remember him.
Número 18. Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, It Takes Two. Con un fabuloso sampleo del clásico Think de James Brown y Lynn Collins en 1988, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock crearon It Takes Two, un monstruo del dance rap.
I wanna rock right now. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known on the microphone.
Oh my God.
That was a damn good song.
Big.
You just gotta move your ass when that song comes on.
And all the white people go out there and they dance awful.
Oh man, if you're talking about a song that stands the test of time, your grandmama know it, your mama know it, you know it, and your kids gonna know it.
Lanzaron un par de álbumes más, pero no pudieron superar It Takes Two. Aún se los puede ver en el circuito de la vieja escuela del hip hop.
When we do shows, it seems like the record is like brand new.
As long as it's been out and for it to still be going as strong as it is, you know, it's just a wonderful feeling, and, you know, I feel like we've been blessed.
No matter where you go in the world, they playing that song. And it's never old. It's not like, hey, that takes me back. It's like, no, that takes me back to right now. Turn it up.
1, 2, 3, get loose now.
Número 17. Men Without Hats, The Safety Dance. Estaba plagada de letras extrañas y en el video había un enano con una mandolina en una feria renacentista. Pero la canción The Safety Dance de Men Without Hats fue sensación en 1982.
We can dance if we want to. We can leave your friends behind. Cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine.
It's just great. You know, some things are just great, you know, and you have no idea why. This is one of those songs.
Men Without Hats. I love him.
Like, what was the safety dance? I didn't.
That's a dance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They do that in the video.
In the video, they do. Is it like a box?
It's one of those guilty pleasures. And then you see the video, and you go, that's bizarre.
That video bothered me. It just gave me nightmares. This was a weird video. It was almost like you were tripping on LSD.
La banda tuvo un éxito menor en 1987 con Pop Goes the World, pero nunca más volvieron a las listas. Hoy el cantante Iván Dorashuk es padre y vive en Canadá. Su banda graba a veces como No Hats, Beyond This Point de 2004, pero Safety Dance sigue siendo su legado y uno de los placeres más culposos de los 80.
I liked the song when it came out, but I would never let my friends know. So the only time I listened to it was in my car by myself.
We got to take a breather before we get to the Sweet 16. Here's a peek at what's coming up.
A continuación, la imperecedera belleza de Nena.
I don't know how her bandmates could handle being in a band with such a hot lead singer.
Y Tomasol, bien enceguecido por la ciencia y conmocionado por el éxito.
It was kind of a surprise to me because I never really set out to be a mainstream pop act.
Enseguida, en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
We're back at a number 16. It's a lady whose beauty is known the world over, or at least in most of Germany. Today, I honor her as one of Judah's one-hit hotties.
El hit caliente de Judas.
Nena. For years, I've dreamed of getting my hands on her Luft balloons. Plus, if you listen closely to the song, I'm pretty sure she's singing about doing it with Captain Kirk. Here's Nena and 99 Luft balloons at number 16.
Número 16. Nena, 99 Luft balloons. A comienzos de los 80, lo raro estaba de moda. Cuando Nena lanzó 99 Luft balloons, una canción cantada en alemán sobre la aniquilación nuclear, fue un éxito, desde luego.
This song's got it all. Funky bass, awesome guitar riff, German lyrics I don't understand.
She's sexy in that sort of like biker German leather chick way.
I had a little bit of a thing for Nina because she wore leather trousers, which is incredibly hot.
I don't know how her bandmates could handle being in a band with such a hot lead singer.
Para calmar a quienes querían entender, Nena grabó una versión en inglés, 99 Red Balloons. Lo extraño fue que solo la versión en alemán fue un éxito.
I didn't like the English version. 99 Red Balloons blew. I like the Luft balloons.
La banda tuvo un solo éxito en los Estados Unidos y se desinfló en 1987. Ella se lanzó como solista. Con casi 50 años, Nena tiene 4 hijos y sigue grabando y cantando en su tierra natal, donde fundó una escuela y todavía conserva su sensualidad.
This is a great song and the sexiness just drips off her. Fantastic.
Número 15. Divo, Whip It. Divo estaba compuesta por 5 estudiantes de arte de Ohio y ayudó a revolucionar el pop, a popularizar la nueva ola y a inventar el nerd rock con la torpe Whip It de 1980.
Divo was raw, way ahead of their time.
I remember watching that on TV, going, who are these wondrous people? I'm scared of them, but I feel I must be with them.
I used to have a flower pot hat, right?
You gotta bring this here, money. Whip that.
Hats were not flower pots, but it was based on an Art Deco ceiling fixture from my grade school.
It's not too late to whip it. Whip it good.
No tuvieron más éxitos, pero todos sus miembros siguieron en la industria de la música. Mark Mothersbaugh se convirtió en un famoso compositor para cine y televisión.
He did the Rugrats, Tenenbaums, and Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist most recently, and tons more that I can't remember.
En 2009, Devo comenzó a grabar su primer álbum en casi 20 años y aún hacen presentaciones para sus devotos admiradores.
Still doing incredible work and still just killing every time they play.
Número 14. Big Country in a Big Country. Los que nunca pensaron que las gaitas serían comerciales, por favor, aplaudan a In a Big Country, la epopeya de 1983 de los apuestos escoceses de Big Country.
In a Big Country by Big Country is one of my favorite 80s songs. You can't hear this song and not bob your head like this.
Big Country, I thought was great. The drums were so heavy and had such a unique sound, and they still put a little Scottish flavor to it.
And they were checked, quite a lot of checked flannel shirts. It all seemed to speak of a kind of lost Scotland.
Yes, we're all good country boys, you know. You live up in the hills in their little butties and sit around the campfire singing songs with their fiddles and bagpipes. That's what Big Country's all about.
In case you forgot their name, it was right in the song as well. They were Big Country and they performed the song in a big country.
En el Reino Unido son muy famosos, pero In a Big Country fue su único éxito en los Estados Unidos. En 2001, tras años de luchar contra el alcoholismo, el cantante Stuart Adamson fue encontrado muerto, aparentemente tras un suicidio. Tenía solo 43 años.
If we remembered for nothing else in that one song, then I'd be pretty happy with that.
Los demás miembros de la banda se separaron hasta que la gira del 25º aniversario los volvió a reunir en el año 2007.
Big Country should have been bigger than what they were. It's kind of sad.
It's one of those one-hit wonders that still sounds great. It's a powerful song. I love it.
Número 13. Thomas Dolby. She Blinded Me with Science. Era brillante y tenía gafas. Thomas Dolby se volvió súper famoso en 1983 con She Blinded Me with Science.
Who couldn't like that?
1980s. That's 80s in a time capsule, basically. So blinded will silence.
In the 80s, a few of us went from obscurity to our 15 minutes of stardom. It was kind of a surprise to me because I never really set out to be a mainstream pop act.
My favorite part of the song is the scientist who keeps going, science!
Science! Science! Science!
Dr. Magnus Pike is the crazy professor in the video. I saw him once after that video, and he was very upset with me because he'd just gotten back from the USA, and walking down the streets of Manhattan, people were coming up behind him going, "Science!
She blinded me with science."
Science fue el primer y único hit de Dolby, si no contamos miles de millones de ringtones de los teléfonos móviles. Él desarrolló esa tecnología.
In the early 90s, I quit the music business and I went to Silicon Valley. And I formed a company, Beatnik, which became very successful in cell phones. Over half the world's cell phones now have Beatnik's technology in them. Now that it's a mature business, it seemed like a good time to get back into music, which was, after all, my first love.
Dolby realizó una serie de espectáculos solistas de alta tecnología y no le molesta haber tenido un solo éxito.
I think it's fine to be known for one single thing. I think there's one thing that you know about Thomas Dolby, it's that song. It stands out, you know, I think it stands the test of time.
Thank you! Good night.
Rat that hair and polish off your favorite guitar. More of the absolute greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s are next.
A continuación, el regreso de N-Motion.
We sat down, we had a beer, we laughed, we cried, and we made up.
Y llegamos a los primeros 10.
This is the best one-hit wonder of the 80s, hands down.
Enseguida en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
I'm Judah Friedlander, the world champion, and we're in a very special place right now, maybe even a sacred place. Soon, we'll be entering the temple that houses the top 10 one-hit wonders of the 80s. Come on, join me, but don't touch anything.
Número 12, Animotion, Obsession. Antes de que estuviera mal obsesionarse, Animotion alcanzó el éxito con la pegadiza Obsession de 1985.
Classic joint. It was an 80s banger.
It was kind of creepy because, you know, the girl was actually stalking the dude, trying to get the dude to sleep with her.
What woman is that? And can I get her number?
Obsession fue el primer sencillo de la banda y su éxito inmediato los sorprendió hasta a ellos.
When Obsession first hit, I was painting houses, and I heard the song on the TV in the house. And I came in and I said, Mrs. So-and-so, can I just check out your TV for a minute? And I said, hey, that's me. And she said, if you're on TV, why are you painting my house?
Tras años de diferencias creativas y de cambios en su formación, Animotion se despidió en los 90. El cantante Bill Adams compone música y hace diseño gráfico para campañas publicitarias. También tiene una familia y su hijo Charlie es un prestigioso artista independiente. La cantante Astrid Plain y el bajista Charles Ottavio se casaron y tuvieron una hija. Astrid siguió haciendo música, es profesora de canto y actriz.
I went to acting school for a couple of years and did a couple of movies. I've done 2 musicals. It was so much fun.
En 2001, después de 15 años de inactividad, Bill volvió a reunir a la banda.
We sat down, we had a beer, we laughed, we cried, and we made up.
Y aunque Animotion no vuelva a tener un hit, los hijos de Bill creen que son la mejor banda.
For a while, the 80s was passé, but then it kind of came around, and sure enough, all my kids are proud of the fact that I was in Animotion and that I sang Obsession.
Número 11, Gary Newman, Cars. En 1980, el ex cantante de Tubeway Army, Gary Newman, levantó olas de este lado del Atlántico con su tecnológica y escalofriante oda al aislamiento, Cars.
It's the sound of this song that captured people's imaginations.
Gary Newman was one of the godfathers of kind of electronica.
It's just songs. It's just I write songs on a synthesizer, not a guitar.
Real synth. Here in my car.
He had that nasally voice.
In cars.
And in the video, he has tambo vision. He's playing the tambourine in the video. There's inside of a tambourine.
In the video, he freezes. He basically looks like a mannequin with hair.
I love Gary Newman because he genuinely seemed freaked out.
Si bien Cars fue el único éxito de Newman en los Estados Unidos, su carrera prosperó en el Reino Unido a mediados de los 80 y además se convirtió en un consumado piloto. Pero Cars seguirá siendo un tema recurrente en su vida. En 2006, Gary participó del reality británico The Race y terminó segundo después de Brian Johnson de AC/DC.
Gary Newman, Brian Johnson, and that's the great battle that we're seeing here.
Oh, it's fantastic. That's so much fun. Really enjoyed it.
Gary vive bien en Inglaterra con su esposa y sus 3 hijos y por fin sus admiradores le reconocen su mérito.
He still makes records, he still tours, he still keeps it going. Even now, he sort of holds on to a very, very committed fan base.
Oh, nothing seems right.
Número 10. Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax. En 1983, Frankie le dijo al Reino Unido relax, pero la BBC no se relajó y censuró la atrevida canción. 2 años después, Relax evadió la censura en los Estados Unidos y se convirtió en un orgásmico clásico.
Relax, one of the greatest songs ever written, people.
What makes Relax a great song is how incredibly filthy the lyrics are.
first you're just like singing to it and relax, but when you wanna, what that boy just say?
Yeah, it's a good line.
And kids were wearing Frankie Says Relax t-shirts back then.
It has some meaning, but I don't know what it is just yet.
These kids had no idea that that actually was like a sexual reference.
It's a metaphor for the sexual climax achieving success, kind of. Do you understand?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Las camisetas y la banda desaparecieron a fines de la década. En 1991, el cantante Holly Johnson supo que era VIH positivo. A pesar del diagnóstico, se volvió solista y pintor y tiene un buen recuerdo de la banda. En cuanto a un encuentro,
I don't rule it out ever happening, but there aren't any plans in the near future for that to occur.
Número 9. Calla Gugu, Too Shy. Eran 5 chicos del Reino Unido con grandes aspiraciones y aún más altos peinados. Calla Gugu eran semidioses de la nueva ola en 1983 con la irresistible Too Shy.
Kasha Gugu, good name. Let's be honest here, it's a good name.
You totally want to sing along even though you have no idea what you're saying. Kaja Gugu was tailor-made for the 80s. You got like the big hair, you got a little bit of the glam look.
Too Shy changed everything. You know, it was the realization of a lifelong dream for me. As a small boy, my mum was told by a local fortune teller, you have a child with you today, he will become very famous.
Too Shy fue un gran éxito, pero sorprendentemente la banda despidió al cantante Limol después del lanzamiento.
I think a good manager would have said to the band, whatever you do not fire the popular lead singer. I mean, talk about emotional roller coaster ride. And I got through all this without therapy.
Limol continuó como solista y los demás siguieron con la banda hasta su separación en 1982. Pero 23 años después, tras algunos malos comienzos, Calla Gugu se reunió en 2008. Desde entonces están en gira disfrutando de la nostalgia por los 80.
I'm optimistic about the future. I don't lose sleep about getting another hit record. But hey, never say never. It would be nice.
Número 8. Bow Wow Wow, I Want Candy. Malcolm McLaren, el mentor de los Sex Pistols, la descubrió en un lavadero del Reino Unido. Annabella Lewin, de 14 años, condujo a Bow Wow Wow a la infamia del pop con el cover de 1982 de The Strange Loves, I Want Candy.
I Want Candy is like a bubblegum classic. Just this excellent female performance with attitude.
Annabelle Lewin was very sexy for a 15-year-old. She had the mohawk.
And the way she yelps and screeches is very agreeable. I think a lot of schoolboys had crushes on her.
Obviously, it's not just about candy. It's a euphemism.
The song creates many sensations within me. It makes me crave lollies.
I Want Candy fue controvertida. Annabella tuvo problemas en casa al posar desnuda para la cubierta de su disco que estaba basada en una pintura de Manet.
I posed nude at 15. My mother went ape crazy, and I had to leave pretty shortly after that.
La banda se separó un año después y Annabella continuó una humilde carrera como solista. Pero en 1997 se reunió con el bajista Leigh Gorman y desde entonces tocan juntos como Bow Wow Wow.
I want candy. I want candy. It's wonderful. And at the end of the day, we're here to make music to hopefully bring some joy into people's lives.
The 7 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s lie ahead. They're even greater than the 7 wonders of the world. Here's a preview.
A continuación, el número telefónico que todos sabían pero nadie quería.
Whoever had that phone number was screwed.
Y ya llegamos a los primeros 10 acercándonos al número 1. Enseguida en los 100 más grandiosos One Hit Wonders de los 80.
We're down to number 7 on the 100 greatest one-hit wonders of the 80s. There's not much left to say at this point. Just bask in their glory, my friend. Bask in their glory.
Número 7. Modern English, I Melt With You. En 1983, los amantes de la nueva ola por fin hallaron una canción para besarse. Modern English lanzó la acaramelada I Melt With You.
Modern English just really hit a perfect moment with this song.
Making love to you was never second best.
And it's like so romantic.
This is the best one-hit wonder of the 80s. Hands down, no question.
You always wish that you could meet the man who would, like, stop playing Nintendo to melt with you.
Is that feeling of wanting to kind of be inside someone else or merge with them? There's something so timeless and so cool about this song.
I'll stop the world and melt with you.
It's just about two people coming together, really. It's definitely about making love, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's it. No, man, that's it.
La banda nunca logró superar esta canción, pero sigue sobreviviendo en películas como Valley Girl y en cientos de comerciales, hasta uno de Burger King de los 90.
Burger King chose to use I Melt With You. We didn't have any control on that. The publisher sold it. But we did have a problem with it because at the time the keyboard player was a vegan. But it was $90,000. We couldn't really complain too much, you know what I mean?
Hoy el cantante Robbie Gray vive lejos del ojo público en una campiña inglesa y tiene una tienda alejada de su aspiración a la fama del pop.
Music's not that important to me anymore. I've opened a vintage clothing store, which is just a nice little thing to do. Basically a slower pace of life.
Número 6. Tony Basil, Mickey. Tomen los pompones porque ya llegó la hora. Sí, es Mickey. Tenía un estribillo pegadizo y las mejores porristas. El hit de 1982 de Tony Basil debía ser un éxito.
Yo, everybody would dance to that song. I remember I would see thugs at parties dancing to that song.
Tony había sido actriz, cantante y coreógrafa desde comienzos de los 60, pero para Mickey se inspiró en una experiencia anterior. En su época como porrista de la preparatoria de Las Vegas.
I always knew cheerleaders was a good idea on film. So, found a song called Kitty, changed it to Mickey, and put this cheerleader chant on top of it. The record company thought it was a terrible idea. And of course, the chant is what is played over and over again.
It's infectious. It gets in your head, and you clap.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
Hey, Mickey.
Anytime you put a girl in a cheerleader's uniform, you're off to a good start.
Yeah,
you know?
Especially with Tony Basil.
Yeah, she wasn't ugly.
No. And the pigtails thing just takes it to another level.
Mickey ocupó el primer puesto e inspiró muchas parodias, pero fue el único éxito de Basil que finalmente regresó a la danza.
We shake it and we lock it. I continue to choreograph shows and choreograph films like both Legally Blondes. I still work for Bette Midler, David Bowie, Tina Turner. So I really work a lot and I love choreographing.
Si bien Mickey no es parte de su rutina diaria, está feliz con lo que pasó.
I enjoy the success of Mickey. It really has opened doors for me. So I embrace it.
Número 5. Soft Cell, Tainted Love. En 1981, el dúo británico Soft Cell dio un toque de nueva ola a un clásico de 1964 de Gloria Jones y alcanzó el éxito con la sobrecogedora Tainted Love.
Sometimes I feel I've got to.
Tainted Love is one of the best songs ever.
Tainted Love is like the darkest pop song ever written.
It's kind of like mysterious.
Everybody loved that song.
was just one of those records. There's like one in a million sort of things, that appeals to so many people.
I give you all a boy could give you. Take my tears and that's not really all. Tainted love. Tainted love.
This was a defining moment for the synthesizer, and soft cell helped to change the sound and shape of popular music at that time.
Don't touch me, please. I cannot stand the way you tease.
Lead singer Mark Coleman was pouting, cavorting, and wearing eyeliner better than a lot of women. Ooh, men in makeup. Shock horror.
Al no tener más éxitos como Tainted Love, Soft Cell se retiró en 1984. Mark Coleman se volvió cantante de cabaret. Desde entonces su clásica canción fue versionada por Marilyn Manson, Rihanna y las Pussycat Dolls. Soft Cell volvió a reunirse en 2001 y desde entonces cantan su canción. Hasta Gloria Jones se unió al grupo en una estruendosa presentación en 2007.
Everybody knows this song. Like, if you were alive in the 80s, you could have been in Russia, you could have been in the slums of the Bronx, but you knew this record.
Número 4, Tommy Two Tone, 867-5309, Jenny. Gracias al éxito de 1982 de Tommy Two Tone, hay 7 números que nunca olvidaremos. 867-5309.
It's the only phone number that everybody knows besides 911.
Whoever had that phone number was screwed.
Hey, you was just listening to the song. Your number was in there.
Every 2-bit blockhead like me had to go run out immediately and dial that number. I still do it every now and then for giggles.
That is the jam.
La banda se quedó sin Jenny y se separó en 1983, tan solo un año después. El cantante Tommy Heath se mudó a Portland, Oregon, tuvo 3 hijos y es programador de informática.
Some people would consider it really mundane, but after you play guitar, it seems exotic to go in the office.
Hoy Tommy regresó con la banda y Jenny sigue triunfando 20 años después. De hecho, en 2009, un DJ de Nueva Jersey que tenía el número 867-5309 lo subastó en eBay, llegando a la cifra de, atención, $186,000.
Who would pay thousands of dollars to have that stupid number? All you're gonna do is get like calls from drunk frat boys all the time. It seems like it would be a nightmare.
The top 3 one-hit wonders of the 80s are coming up next. Don't get up to pee or anything. I'm telling you, if you have to pee your pants, do it. You'll thank me later.
Enseguida, los 100 más grandiosos one-hit wonders de los 80.
We're up to number 3 on the countdown, and I'd like to formally recognize the video's best supporting player. She is another unsung hero of One Hit Wonderland.
Héroes no reconocidos de One Hit Wonderlandia.
It's Miss Bunty Bailey, a.k.a. the hot chick in a-ha's Take On Me video. Women have been falling in love with fictional characters for generations, but Bunty made it possible to enter their world, hold their hands, and help them escape roaming packs of Scandinavian bikers. For that, Bunty Bailey, we honor you.
Número 3, Ajá, Take On Me. Si en los 80 les gustaban los apuestos escandinavos, el trío noruego Ajá era su banda. Y los chicos llamaron la atención en 1985 con Take On Me.
Aha, Take On Me. Honestly, like, this is the theme song of the 80s.
This song deserves to be on that list, if only for the high note.
When he goes to...
I can't. What the was that?
The video for Take On Me is a sweet video with sweet effects.
Even to this day, I'm like, I can't believe they made that. That is incredible.
La banda fue nominada a un Grammy y ganó varios premios de MTV.
Aha,
Take on Me.
Ajá, Take on Me.
Pero luego desaparecieron de las listas de los Estados Unidos. En Europa, sin embargo, siguen siendo famosos. El último disco de A.H.A. salió en 2009, el mismo año que Take On Me fue elegido como la mejor canción noruega de los últimos 50 años.
I listen to A.H.A. all the time. I'm not even kidding you. And it just so happens that the singer of A.H.A. is still one of the most gorgeous men I've ever seen in my life.
There have been 99 possibilities for our greatest one-hit wonder of the 80s, but only one can rule them all. And here it is, the epitome of 80s awesomeness, the very best single hit made after 1979, but before 1990. Check it out. That's a wrap, 80s fans. Those were the decade's 100 greatest one-hit wonders. I'm Judah Friedlander, the world champion, reminding you, if you get just one shot, take it. You could be on this countdown in 2025. Fingers crossed. Bye-bye.